going on, everybody? How are you guys doing? Hope everyone is doing well. Wanted to go ahead and do a live. I actually want to do a couple quick lives this evening. Uh, one on Umar and then do one on Candace because it just needs to be done. What's going on? Hi, Sean. How you doing? Sean Flossie. Hello. How's it going? How's it going? Oh man. So we got some content to watch and an actual interview. That's about it's 9 months old, but I definitely want to go over this. I'm not gonna go over the whole thing because one, I still have a head cold and throat is itchy scratchy. But I also want to get to the live for Candace after this. So we're gonna keep this down to under 2 hours. Oh yes, yes we are. What's going on, Pink? How you doing? Good evening. Hey, Caleb. Make sure you guys, as you come in, hit the like button. 13 people watching, coming in. Don't be shy. Don't hide in the bushes. Come on out. Say hello. Everybody, speak to everybody. Hopefully, you guys are having a good evening. It's almost Friday. I didn't realize we were so close to Thanksgiving. The kids will be out of school next week. Then, they'll be out for a whole week after that for Thanksgiving. Man, and then next thing you know, it'll be Christmas. Good grief. So the days are passing by quickly. All right. And holiday is coming upon us. It's exciting. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I know it's later than I wanted to start, but I do have to work and stuff like that. And I have to be able to get these in when I am able to take a good pause from work. Even if I'm not done, be able to have a good pause from work. So what I want to start off with is, let's see, there are two videos that I was sent from Lennon Honor. He's got some footage. Shout out to Lennon Honor. He's got two new videos he posted up. One is like 5 minutes, the other is 2 minutes. And then parts of this interview that Umar did with Nick Cannon about 9 months ago that I just, trying to get any other information I can on Umar even talking about FDMG because we all know he's not opening a school. And I came across that and I just found it to be hilarious that Umar is sitting here having a conversation with Nick Cannon, who believes that he's somehow rebelling against a Eurocentric idea when it comes to the institution of marriage, when he's just using that as an excuse to impregnate a bunch of women. Period. That's all. So it's like two con artists sitting here having a conversation together. Neither one of them can effectively be there for all of their kids. At least Nick Cannon has money, but when it comes down to just physically being there for your children, there's no way he's able to do that with all of his kids. It's like 9, 10 of them. It's so crazy. So we're gonna check that out. We're not gonna watch the whole video, but we're gonna check out most of it and the parts that to me stood out and get going from there. So if Umar isn't a scammer, Candace is mentally sane. Y'all, I laughed so hard yesterday at Ami. It took me like 5 good minutes after the live stream ended just to get my composure. I was hot. I was like, man, this is gonna hurt my throat even more. Yeah, I laughed so hard at that darn video at Ami. Oh man, it was epic. So if you guys haven't seen the live show from yesterday that we did on Candace, please do and check out the ending with Ami Kozak. Shout out to him. He is absolutely hilarious. Man, had me crying. Saint, email me when you can. Hope everything's going well with you. And yeah, email me when you can. Just want to make sure you good. All right. Shout out to my mods. I appreciate my mods. I appreciate all of you all, members, supporters, viewers, everyone for tuning in this late. I think Saint's like what, 2-3 hours behind me. So I appreciate it. It's 9:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you all. And for once, I'm on time. I can't, I can't believe it. Normally I'm falling behind, but we're here today. 200 people watching. Y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. We're gonna get to it. Make sure you guys check out Lynn and Honor and show him some support here. There are 2 new Umar videos. I don't know where he was or what's going on, but shout out to Black Anonymous and Manny. I think both of you all emailed me and sent me these videos to check out. So we're going to check them out. So if you guys can, make sure you put a 1 in the chat when you can see and hear. Let's get to it.
As long as they got a license, okay, got you. It depends on your state law.
So I just wanted to bring light to that. And what would you say to those parents, I guess?
A lot of people think you're that, Dr. Umar.
To that point, and I'm going to push this back at you a little bit, all of you, but the princess, I struggle daily with the fact that I'm so popular with the youth and the college students, right? And this is where y'all can help me out, especially your generation. What?
Wait a minute. What the heck is this? He's saying he's popular with the college students? Umar, it's because you still act like a 17-year-old. Except, you go into college campuses where the girls are at least 18. What are you doing there? I mean, you do nothing there. There's nothing these kids are learning. If anything, they're learning how to go under the radar and then pretend like you're going to open up a school for over 6.5, 7+ years in one city alone. And why would you brag about being popular amongst college students? You're a 51-year-old man. You're a grown adult. I mean, you might be a ball of ape shit, but you're still a grown adult male. Why are you trying to relate to 18 to 21-year-olds like that when you don't even spend time with your own 2 kids that are those same ages? One of your daughters are 22, you clown. But you go out your way to go and hang out and take photos with these college girls at these college campuses while you're walking around here talking about, have anyone seen or heard from Baby Smurf? Anybody seen or heard from Baby Smurf? Let me know. This is your child. Why do you not have her contact information? Or just call her yourself. If you can't get through to her on a phone call, then send a message in her Instagram or her social media. This is the same clown that sits here and ignores his own kids that are the same ages as these college kids on these college campuses. This is crazy.
Help me out, especially your generation. What is the thing I need to do with them to galvanize that energy in a progressive direction that benefits the race? I'm a music producer. So you customize tennis shoes, you can turn them into what? What's some of the things you've done with? I've done Black Barbie.
It's going to be Mondays and Fridays, 7:30 to 8:30. Its location is 211 Providence Road, Chesapeake, Virginia, Suite 13. So that's where we'll be. And then we're also online. AfricanMartialArts.com. We do online lessons. So there's
African Martial Arts, tap in with the brother.
Wait a minute. Where are they? The only reason why this blur is sitting here is because this is a minor child. So where is he? Let me put a thumbs up on this. Where is he? Anyone know where he is? Hey, Tavares. Hey, Caleb, Carmel. How you doing? I hope you guys are well. Saint said it's 7 p.m. for her. Awesome. Yeah, can y'all tell me where he is? Does anybody know? There are small children here. So this is not a college campus thing. So what is he talking about with college campus? African martial arts and the brother talks. What? Oh, God. All right, let's go back a little bit. I just see a child walking through, and that's why, and I'm assuming Lennon did this because rightfully so. Minor children shouldn't be just put out there like that, especially when it comes to anything with Umar Johnson in the damn title of the video.
AfricanMartialArts.com. We do online lessons. So there's
African Martial Arts, tap in with the brother.
Talks about the history.
This is the reason why some of us have a cane versus a staff. And you want to be able to walk on both of your twos and use that third for confidence, not because you were crippled. So a lot of us are facing a lot of situations inside the body that's reflecting on the outside. We've seen Blackbird or Blackbird in the cage, what's it called? Blackbird?
Yeah. And once I did that,
I awakened to my truth, and I had to realize my mom's truth, my grandma's truth isn't mine. So I had to find out what my truth was, right?
What is going on? What is this? What type of event is this? Did he say? Hold on. Let me see if he say where they were? No. Then he puts the whole storyline in the description. Where is this? Somebody said the barn. Is this a barn? Is this in Philadelphia or is he in another city and state again? You can't make this up. Nat Turner Land, Virginia. It's giving out coaches. Exactly. It's a whole coat. Some cabin. He's in a cabin. Y'all, what's going on, Truth? How you doing? This is a cabin. It looks cold. Ain't no heat. Y'all, you got small kids in here. Why people, man, they some horrible parents. Why are you bringing these kids out like this late? Isn't it a school night? This is a school night, right? I don't know when was this recorded, but it could have been a school night. Why is that child out at a barn?
That's reflecting on the outside. You seen Blackbird or Blackbird in the thing? What's it called? Blackbird? Blackbird. Yeah.
And once I did that, I awakened to my truth, and I had to realize my mom's truth, my grandma's truth isn't mine. So I had to find out what my truth was, right? So I began going into everything with intent. I began changing the way I think, right? Really challenging self.
Frontline areas to just take a sheet home. Just do something colorful instead of being on social media tonight before you go to sleep and pray. So I wanted to let everybody know.
Okay, what are they doing? And what was this truth that he said he's coming to? They're not even saying exactly what this so-called truth is. Like, it would be different if he said, I was reading a book and it inspired me, to the truth of education and how important it is in my life. So that when I go to a barn and, to an event that Umar Johnson is hosting, I can speak in a way to where people understand clearly what that truth is. And I can say things that make sense. And it's grammatically correct. Like, what truth is he talking about here? That's cult speak. It's the truth of it. That reminds, and we got to get back to, we got to pick up with the Nature Boy series. Yeah, this is like a Nature Boy video where you hear, the cult members talking about coming to some truth of something. Very repetitive stuff that you hear the same type of dialogue in the Nature Boy cult with the videos that shout out to Hood Horrors in those series that he, put together. Nature Boy was a cult leader. Carbon Nation was a whole cult. This sounds like a Carbon Nation camp out meeting in a house where the tent's in the backyard, where they're saying the same exact rhetoric. I came to the truth that, Nature Boy is the 3G God and on iPad.com. Like it's just the same old thing. What truth are you talking about?
That I also have some prints made. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm a poet and percussion player. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Art of Ebony Diamond.
Curator for the Nat Turner Library, author and writer of Nation of Islam Frequently Asked Questions, and the leadership of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and husband to the most beautiful woman in the world. Happy anniversary!
Yeah.
Wait, is this a marriage?
Percussion player. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Art of Ebony Diamond.
Curator for the Nat Turner Library, author and writer of Nation of Islam Frequently Asked Questions, and the leadership of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and husband to the most beautiful woman in the world. Happy anniversary!
Yeah!
Happy anniversary!
So sweet.
Prince, talk to the people. Your name, where you from, and what you do.
My name is Samir, and I'm from Richmond, and I make drawings, and I'm an artist, I'm a singer, and I'm a rapper, and I make drawings. Today I was drawing, but
Wait a minute. How old is this kid? I make drawings. I'm a rapper. I make drawings. You make drawings? or create drawings. Wait, what? I'm not even understanding whose anniversary is it?
Night before you go to sleep and pray. So I wanted to let everybody know that. I also have some prints made. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm a poet and percussion player. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Art of Me Diamond.
Curator for the National Library, author and writer of Nation of Islam Frequently Asked Questions in the leadership of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and husband to the most beautiful woman in the world.
Oh. Happy anniversary!
Yeah!
Happy anniversary.
So sweet.
Prince, talk to the people. Your name, where you from, and what you do.
Did he say Louis Farrakhan's wife? Yeah, I'm so glad these captions are a thing. Minister Louis Farrakhan and husband to the most beautiful woman. Is this one of Louis Farrakhan's wives? Is that what I'm to get out of this? Is Louis Farrakhan's wife? Let's get some comments in right quick. What's going on here? How you doing, Diddy? Safe house. Man, my throat hurt. Come on, man. Say said, wait until the doll comes out. Oh, dear Lord, there's a doll? Y'all haven't seen this video. Hope all is well. What's going on, Laurie? How's school going, honey? Hope you succeeding and passing your test, girl. We're rooting for you. Hey, sounds like Candy Candida. Yeah, Candy is the one that put it out there that she gets her yeast infections from black mold. You can't make this stuff up. Hold a little coat round table. Some same old played out 1950s rhetoric. Exactly. How you doing, Tavares? Let's see. Is it right? Black people are still in chains, according to Umar. Yeah, he keeps talking about a transatlantic slave trade and all this other stuff. Do you realize that, slavery was abolished in the U.S., Umar? We understand you really want to go back to the past where you think you could make a difference, but no. You can't even make a difference in 6.5 years by opening up 2 school buildings that you did not purchase. Because he didn't. He didn't buy shit. Truth. What's going on? Truth Using Logic. They're promoting their individual business endeavors. What? Is that why she's talking about a channel and he's talking about making drawings? Careful, Umar will help your wife if given opportunity. What's going on, Rap? What's going on? What's going on, Rap? Mars, hello, everyone. What's up? Everybody speak to everybody. How y'all doing? Powerful. No, what's going on, Queen? Is it Queen Malik? Oh, Malika? I'll just say Queen. How you doing? Tomorrow said, I don't know. Joy said it's a life-size voodoo doll. Creepy. What? Oh, we about to see something demonic. What's going on, Jay the Informant? Can I get one of the mods? I think saying, are you able to drop the link to Jay the Informant's channel for me? I would appreciate that. Make sure you guys go check out Jay the Informant as a YouTube channel over there. We want to show some support. So please go check out. I hope I'm not missing anybody. If I am, I'm sorry. You haven't seen it all? I haven't seen this video. It's 2 videos. I haven't seen either one of them. Yeah, I've been busy working. I got to be honest. That's why this live is so late. You're welcome, Jay. No problem. Yeah, I haven't seen them. There's a doll. How evil is this going to get?
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
So sweet.
Prince, talk to the people. Your name, where you from, and what you do.
My name is Samir, and I'm from Richmond, and I make drawings, and I'm an artist, I'm a singer, and I'm a rapper, and I make drawings. Today I was drawing, but I wasn't gonna make that much, so if y'all still can know, I made a poster.
Yeah.
So
Like with the militias, because y'all very important, because y'all protect life, right? That's essential function. It's in your face. We here to protect your life. Why isn't there more solidarity amongst the different militias around the country?
It has a lot to do with what he said, but it's also us as a people, we don't like to come together.
No.
We don't even support each other. So to support each other, to help each other, we got to figure that part out. You understand what I'm saying? So You can have an organization over here and an organization over here. My belief is this: if my delivery and my gift to y'all, and we all supposed to be in cahoots on the same thing. If I believe in love, peace, prosperity, and abundance for my people, and this organization over here do too, we should be able to come to the table and sit down and communicate what we need to do for our people.
Here you're successful women, right? The problem is, in this conversation we had with y'all about women,
So here's the problem right here, Umar, because you know we know you're slow. Your dissertation is a reflection of your thought process or ability to put words on a paper. But when you talk about coming together, and this is for your the Umar Tardy and cult followers as well, you have to have accountability and transparency. You cannot expect people on earth here in this reality to just blindly follow you, and you bear no responsibility when it comes to actually showing what is going on with the donation dollars that you're receiving. You cannot expect people to just keep giving you money and you can't explain how it's being spent. Funny how you couldn't pay a judgment, but you didn't have a choice but to pay the legal settlement for Marianne Lorient, to which I am going to say once again was a lowball number. She should have gotten way more than that. For all the nonsense he put her through, she should have definitely broke even from the money she spent on making that film. That was only over $80,000. He gave her $68,600. So truth be told, she should have at least got that money back in full from what she paid to produce the film in the first place. But you cannot expect people to just give you money. And then when you're asked about how is the money being spent, well, that's nobody's business. And my donors don't ask me that. No, your cult followers don't ask you that. But they're not a representative of everyone that is donated to you, especially when you promised to give these people tax statements to file at the end of the year. Umar, it's November 13th, 2025. Tax season will be around the corner in a couple months. When you plan on sending out those tax statements to show what people have contributed so that they can file with their taxes this tax statement for charitable donations? Because that would help get people bigger refunds. It's a deduction. When you plan on sending out those letters? Because they would have to go through their phone, but why can't you send them a letter? They would have to go through all of the money they gave you, but send them a letter. I hope that tax ID or that EIN number is still valid come next year, February, March. It better not expire, Umar. Because if people have to go and pull up all the amounts they've ever donated, or they've donated within the last year, rather, to be able to put on their taxes, that EIN better be applicable. It better be valid so that they can use it as a part of the information for their taxes. Since you are too incompetent to give out a letter that you lied and said you would do. No one is going to do that. Supporting a community does not mean that you expect people to just give you money because Umar Johnson does not want to get a job. He hasn't put one red cent into FDMG at all. And he can't prove that he's used his personal funds to invest into this school. He doesn't even put down the salary on the tax forms. So whatever he's getting is what he's using to fund his lifestyle. No one owes you that, Umar. You're 51 years old. Take your ass out and get a job. That's not a matter of, oh, you're not helping. You turn down the black people and all this nonsense. No, you got a black man taking advantage of the black community by failing to be transparent and be held accountable for how he's spending their money. So kick rocks. I don't even care about what color skin you are. If you're scamming people, you're scamming people. The end. No one owes Umar shit.
Round table talk.
As grassrootsy as you ladies are, you're still being influenced to some extent by that class.
Dog collection.
What the hell?
Look at that.
Okay, man, you say wood, you talking about the staff.
Ooh, so cold.
The flag itself is wood.
Wait a minute. Was this Halloween or something? Will they convert this barn into a scary house? What the hell? What do these dolls got to do with Nat Turner? Y'all don't understand how silly this shit is. Like, what do these dolls have to do with Nat Turner? What is this? Y'all, it's like a page straight out of Tales from the Hood. Y'all ever seen that movie? It's an old movie. It's like 40 years old. Tales from the Hood. When they had those little dolls, little dolls called Niggly dolls. That's what that looked like. It looks like a page straight out of Tales from the Hood with the Niggly dolls. Now I'm not making that up. That's exactly what the name of the dolls were. Niggly dolls. That's what this looks like to me. What is going
Still
on?
being influenced to some extent by that class.
It was wooden. It was heavy.
Dog
You can't
collection.
make this up.
Look at that.
Look at Niggly
You say
dolls.
wood, you talking about the staff.
Ooh, so cold.
They gonna come to life and beat his ass.
Wait a minute. It wasn't the pattern.
So cute. This is just in August. We looked at Dr. Umar dog.
Okay.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
For anybody that's under the age of 30, if you've never heard Tales from the Hood, this is it. If you've never seen Tales from the Hood, this is it. This is a real life version of Tales from the Hood with the Niggly doll scenes, where them things come to life and they attack the dude and whoop his ass. And that's what this is. Y'all, this is demonic as hell. What the heck is he doing? This has nothing to do with Nat Turner. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're not even, like, I haven't even heard his name mentioned so far. And I'm sitting here, like, staring at the captions, trying to keep up with what's being said, because you can barely hear.
As grassrootsy as you ladies are, you're still being influenced to some extent by that class.
No.
It was wooden. It was heavy.
Dog collection. Look at that.
Okay, man, you say wood, you talking about the staff.
Ooh,
Yeah, this Tales from the Hood.
so cold.
The flag itself is wood. Wait a minute. It wasn't the pattern.
So cute.
Ow!
This is just in August. We looked at Dr. Umar dog.
What the heck is that? Y'all look at this doll. That's the Umar Johnson doll. Oh my God, that is not cute. That doll, I'm telling y'all. Oh no, my throat. Y'all, that doll. This doll looks like it can throw hands too. It's just gonna punch the hell out of Umar's belly. Let's see how fast he spits up chocolate milk and Swiss rolls. Like, you can't make this up. Why are you doing this? And look at somebody so cute. What the hell do you do for fun, girl? If she thinks this is cute, what does she deem to be ugly? I'm curious. What is this person recording? What is their aspect of definition or concept of the word ugly? Because this is cute to her. You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
So cute. This is just in August. We looked at Dr. Umar dog.
Okay.
That's crazy.
This is crazy.
Oh my
My
God.
collection, I got this shit in advance.
That's why she sounds like that when she says that. Because she knows it's supposed to give off some spookiness factor. What happened with the sound? What's going on? Is that song copyrighted? It must be copyrighted. Did Lennon mute this, or was this part of the original video? Y'all, you can't make this. No, it is demonic. What are they worshiping here? I mean, and honestly, that's I don't know how else to put this. I don't see anything, spiritually positive about any of this. You guys understand, you're coming together in the name of Nat Turner. And you're making dolls in the image of somebody. And for what? Because Umar hasn't presented any school either. I'm just trying to figure out what is this? I get that you went to see it. I see a comment here. Sister is talented. She just completed her dollhouse, wanted to show us her collection. So we went to see it. That's fine. But it's to me, it still looks demonic. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't understand what these dolls have to do with Nat Turner either. How's this celebrating Nat Turner?
Selfish wood. Wait a minute. It wasn't the
So cute. This is just in August. We looked at Dr. Umar doll.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Is that
Oh my
the
God.
snow bunny next to him? They did a snow bunny doll. Look at that snow bunny doll. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she got the snow bunny doll right there. Y'all, because you can't make this up. I thought it was snow bunnies never. Meaning that you don't involve yourselves with snow bunnies. You got one right next to him in doll form. Because he can't escape it no matter how hard he tries. So even the dolls know he's lying about being with a snow bunny. You can't make this up. Well, you can't. This lady made it up. But I don't get it. It has nothing to do with Nat Turner. You got the snow bunny doll in the corner. How does that have anything to do with Nat Turner?
Crazy. Oh my
my
God.
collection. I got this in advance.
That's your opinion. I'm not taking away your opinion in this. It's just what? How is this honoring the ancestors with this? Did you see the snow bunny doll? Did you know that was a thing?
Wait a
There's a snow bunny doll here.
Wait a minute. It wasn't the past.
So cute.
What make this doll?
This is just in August. We looked at Dr.
I thought this was Pan-African thing. Where Umar believes that only black people are real humans or something. I'm just saying that this is contradictory to Umar. Did Nat Turner marry a white woman? Is that what I'm missing here? I have questions.
Umar doll.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Man.
Oh my
my
God.
collection. I got this in advance.
I'm more worried about the plywood paneling than the mannequins. I mean, yeah, they're in a barn. Is this what he's doing now? Like he doesn't want people to know that he's doing tours or something like that. What, Umar? Where's sign of life or proof of life from your mother? Who's watching after the mother while you do this? This is insane. Or why not take your mother with you? Yeah, this is the second video. Oh my God.
Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and
What the? What? And did Nat Turner make dolls or something? I'm trying to figure out the correlation between these dolls and Nat Turner. Where's the Nat Turner doll? Let me ask that. Where is the Nat Turner doll? Did I miss it? I could see if it was Nat Turner and his family, and you're doing a historical museum strictly on Nat Turner. Because Umar Johnson is not Nat Turner, no matter how hard he wants to be. Where was the Nat Turner doll? Maybe I should be asking it.
Pan-Africanism. It's the Prince. We hanging out with the Nat Turner family.
Weird.
And I'm here with baby Ifa Tunde. Y'all said I had a secret son? Y'all said I had a secret son? And here's my secret son. Oh, yes. Make sure you get your Dr. Umar doll. That's right. You can get it right here. Nat Turner land. Check him out. He almost as tall. You get your...
Yeah, doll, because, toilets and all. That's not... that accent is so weird, Umar. Da. Because toilets. It's doll. Can you say oh? All?
My secret son. Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Make sure you get your Dr. Umar doll. That's right. You can get it right here. Nat Turnerland. Check him out. He almost as tall as I am. This is baby Ifa Tunde. You got
it. That's the Umar doll. Where's the Nat Turner doll? And why is it so spooky looking? Look at this. That doll also has no job. Well, actually, let me take that back. The doll has a job. It's to sit on display. Umar does not. So Umar, your secret son, at the very least, has a step ahead of you in life by having an actual occupation. Even if the job is to sit on display. At least the doll is working. You're not.
Oh, yes. Make sure you get your Dr. Umar doll. That's right. You can get it right here. Nat Turnerland. Check him out. He almost as tall as I am. This is baby Ifa Tunde. You got to go to freedomculturedolls.com. Freedom Culture Dolls.
Can someone answer me who was the Snow Bunny doll supposed to represent? Because the Snow Bunny doll was sitting down chilling in a chair with a watch on, I think. What was that doll representing? You know, for Pan-African and all. What was that doll representing? Was it Britney Spears? Could have been Britney Spears.
Museum.com. You know what? Since I'm live, Sister Edge, talk to him.
Peace and love, soul family. I'm super excited to be here on 11/11 and all this ancestral energy. Here with my husband, here with Dr. Umar, here with our spiritual soul family.
Why was I thinking she was the wife of Louis Farrakhan? Was that the same lady standing up front? I did ask that. Did anybody answer me if what you call it? Is that who's the lady that was clapping with when he said Louis Farrakhan wife? I mean, will Louis Farrakhan wife go to this? I'm just saying. Dial. Is it dial? Dog. Let me go back a little bit. Because obviously, I don't know what the Snow Bunny doll represents. I don't see a Nat Turner doll, but this is supposed to be celebrating Nat Turner Day. But, you know, I would think that these pivotal, you know, historical characters like Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner would actually be represented in these dolls. And I still have yet to see where the Nat Turner doll is. They got an Umar doll and a Snow Bunny doll. You know, because Pan-Africanism.
Freedom Culture Dolls Museum.com. You know what? Since I'm live, Sister Edge, talk to him.
Peace and love, soul family. I'm super excited to be here on 11/11
her
and all
husband
this
represents
ancestral energy.
okay.
Here with my husband, here with Dr. Umar, here with our spiritual soul family at the grand opening of our Freedom Culture Dolls Museum. Yes, super hyped, super excited. So thankful to honor Dr. Umar with the reflection of him.
Look at his shoes. He even got on the brown Nikes. Okay. The same blue jeans.
Hold on. I thought you didn't believe in name brand stuff, Umar. Don't you tell people to give up their Jordan money and, you know, talk about how much money Nike brings in, even though when you buy something from Nike.com, you actually get a product in return. But, you know, you bragging about Nikes. I thought you didn't like Nikes and Jordans, you know, because they're rich and all.
So tighter than mine, though. I sag in the back. But, you know, how can they reach you, Sister Edge, if they want to die?
Why is he sagging? It's 51.
FreedomCultureDolls.com.
Did he say he sags his pants?
Mine, though. I sag in the back. But, you know.
Why? Umar? Why? Why do you sag your pants in the back? You know, because it's rumor has it, you know, that you hang out in Hyde Park with members of the LGBTQ community. make references about how a woman's jaw is not as strong as a man's, and you know how you would cuddle with little boys by the fireside. So why would you have your pants sagging at 51 years old? At what point is he going to grow up mentally? I'm waiting on that. Umar, you're not 17. You try to relate to college kids because you act like one and think like one. You know, the Bible says when I was a child, I act like a child, I thought like a child, I did childish things. And then when I became a man and grew up, I went out and got a job and did things that men do. I'm paraphrasing here, but if you want to pull up the scripture, that's it. When I grew up, when I became a man, I put away childish things. That is the scripture from the Bible. What religion did they celebrate here? Let me ask that. What is the religion here amongst these people?
How can they reach you, Sister Edge, if they want to dial?
You can go to freedomculturedolls.com.
freedomculturedolls.com.
They look very angry. I know, right?
You can get a doll made like you. You want your own doll. Ladies, if you want a Dr. Papa doll, freedom,
dial,
culture, home, freedom culture dolls.com. No, museum.
I got two of them.
This is the man who wants to educate children. This is the man that wants to educate children. Saying dials and not dolls. Dolls, Umar. Just close your mouth like a puckered fish. Dolls. Toilet. Toilet. The word is toilet, not toilet. Is he serious? But he calls himself an intellectual. You have to master the English language, since that seems to be your primary language. Because Umar has never said, nor has he ever spoken another language. You would think that level of intelligence would prompt you, Umar, to want to at least learn, one African language. Start with Swahili and go from there. You haven't even mastered English. Dials and toilets. I mean, oh my.
CultureDolls.com.
And you can get me, and you can get a doll made in reflection.
You can get a doll made like you. You want your own doll. Yes. Ladies, if you want a Dr. Papa doll, freedom, culture, home, freedom culture dolls.com. No, museum.
I got two of them.
Okay, freedomculturedolls.museum.com and freedomculturedolls.com. So make sure y'all get y'all that Dr. Umar doll. Y'all feels me? We got one coming up.
Because we don't understand that broken English. No, this isn't advertising. Okay, why not just put up a business card? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just, these dolls remind me of the nigga dolls in the tail. Umar, this doll is going to come to life and beat the crap out of you. How dare you claim that I'm your son? The audacity of you. You can see you're talking about I'm your son. No, I'm not. But the kids he has, he doesn't spend time with or acts like he wants to claim. One of them, Umar, a judge had to order you supervised visitation. Is there a reason why you're on supervised visitation with one of your children? And you really weren't in the lives of the others? And now you want to claim a doll as your child. I'm just going to take that as a joke and keep living.
With me and Suki Hana too, it's going to
go back.
Freedom, culture, home, freedom culture dolls.com. No, museum.
I got two of them.
Okay, freedomculturedolls.museum.com and freedomculturedolls.com. So make sure y'all get y'all that Dr. Umar doll. Y'all feels me? We got one coming out with me and Suki Hana too. It's going to be the couple. I'm joking. Cut it out. I'm joking. All right. Make some noise, y'all. This Nat Turner.
No, he's not joking. Who's Sukiana? He's not joking. Whatever. Umar, no, you're not joking. He meant that one. Because Umar has no problem sleeping with a married woman. That can be historic, proven as a fact. So, no. He's not joking.
Out. I'm joking. All right. Make some noise, y'all. This Nat Turner, 194 years. We celebrating Virginia. One love.
Awesome.
All right.
Y'all, that you can't make this up. That's in the video. What? Lennon said it is Umar Johnson reached an all-time low. I don't wait. Okay, so why isn't there a Nat Turner doll and you're celebrating Nat Turner? 1, 2. What is the Snow Bunny doll supposed to represent? Who is the Snow Bunny doll representing? Who's it representing? Hey, Skeeter, what's going on? Who can you tell me what the Snow Bunny doll represents? Who's the figure that the Snow Bunny doll with the blonde weave? Who's that representing? Just tell me that. Just, I'm not here to change anyone's opinions on anything. You have your own. Everybody has their own perspective and the right to voice that. I'm looking at this like, and in case you didn't know, I mean, Tales from the Hood was a what they call it, a cult classic type of thing. It's a very popular movie, especially in the Black community. So why knock a movie that's a movie that was predominantly Black people in it? I don't, we in this thing. What's going on, Ace? Oh, he's one of the most narcissistic people I've seen. Yeah, because it's all about Umar. Exactly. I'm just trying to figure out who is the Snow Bunny doll. Who is that? He said exactly. Julie said every idiot knows I'm joking means I'm totally serious. I guess I'll be waiting on an answer to that. If I can just know who the Snow Bunny doll is, that'd be awesome. Just tell me that. Yeah, okay. So that's the end of that one.
Family just to get me.
So this is the interview that Umar did with Nick Cannon about 9 months ago. And before we watch this, and we're not going to watch the whole thing, I just want to give some background on an article from the New York Post about Nick Cannon and his willingness to sit here and procreate with different women because of reasons. Okay? So before we watch that, I just want you all to understand, who's sitting across the table from Umar and how they're like two peas in a pod. So this one is Nick Cannon. This was back in 2021. Nick Cannon explains that he's had more kids since then, as an FY. He explains unorthodox lifestyle. It ain't my decision. It ain't, because English. So it says here, Nick Cannon having multiple babies with multiple girlfriends. I hope you guys can see it. I'm gonna take down the thing so y'all can see it. You sent me an email with videos. Okay, cool. All right, we'll check that out. You can't make this up. That Turner was gay. Was it gay? That Turner was gay. They can't spend too much time with Howard Stern. So I said maybe it's maybe it's the lady he was talking to at the airport. No, I'm asking about the Snow Bunny doll. She light skinned. The Snow Bunny. Did you see the Snow Bunny doll that was next to Umar? I get it, but there should have been. If you're, doing some sort of celebration of Nat Turner, why would there not be one? But who's the Snow Bunny doll supposed to represent? I'm just asking the question here. So this is God. So before we get to that, this is who Umar Johnson was sitting down talking to. This is Nick Cannon here. He's talking about having multiple babies with multiple girlfriends. It's the father of seven's way of rebelling against the Eurocentric institution of marriage. First off, hard stop right there. The institution of marriage predates the continent of Europe being established as a continent. And it's as if no other race or ethnicity of people understood the institution of marriage. So what is he talking about? He is deducing the aspect of the institution of marriage to being a Eurocentric concept, and no other race has ever practiced or ever accepted the institution of marriage. No other race of people. This is all coming from Europe. This is Nick Cannon's response, of course, to an interview he did on the Breakfast Club, because they don't challenge nothing. I don't take them seriously. So he says he's rebelling against the Eurocentric institution of marriage as if it belongs to Europe and no other country. That's a Eurocentric concept. The idea that you're supposed to have this one person for the rest of your life. At the time, he was 40. You're 40 years old thinking like a 16-year-old kid that just discovered that it has hormones and your sac just dropped. That is not a concept limited to Europe, Nick Cannon. You're an idiot, and you need to read history. The idea that the institution of marriage is limited to being a Eurocentric concept is egregious and ignorant. So let's take the entire continent of Africa. Going back to the beginning of civilization, with mankind being, born and existing here on earth. I'm Christian, so I believe God created men and women and human beings. But people got married going back to 5,000-6,000 years ago. Like, we're going back in time here. How they got married, who married them, evolved over time. But it was not solely done in the continent of Europe. It's not an idea or concept that belongs to just anything relating to Europe. So that excuse is so stupid. It's like a dumb reason to try to justify making all these babies with all these different women at the same time. Some of these babies were born days apart from each other. So he's not rebelling against a Eurocentric idea that is not limited or was created by the continent of Europe. He's rebelling against the institution of marriage in general because he has not gotten remarried since he divorced Mariah Carey. Nick Cannon, all you have to say is that I don't want to go through marriage again because my divorce cost me a lot of damn money. And I'm just not in the mood. I don't really see myself getting married again. Why not just say that? Or that you're a polygamist and you just want to have multiple women at the same time and then create a compound, go buy a bunch of land. So at least all the women can live on the same land together, even if you give them different houses. At least they should be all in the same neighborhood. Because how are you spending time with all these kids like this when some of them are days apart? And I'm talking about multiple women giving birth days apart from each other. So the moment one gives birth, you're going to fly out to the hospital, be with that one, and be like, oh, shoot, I got to get to my next baby mama that's in labor. And when I say days apart, I mean days apart. So it goes through a little timeline here where it starts out with him getting married and have kids with Mariah Carey. It's my understanding that those are his first kids that he had with her, and they're twins, right? The idea, he said, the idea that a man should have one woman, we shouldn't have anything. I have no ownership over this person. What does marriage have to do with ownership? Marriage is a union. It is a connection between two individuals. It's a forging of relationship between two individuals. Why does it have to automatically equate to ownership? This is his concept of marriage, people. Just so he could just try to justify having all these damn kids at once. That he knows some of them will be neglected because he can't physically be there for every single child at the same time, for everything that's going on with them. He has to pick an event. Yeah, I'm going to go to these kids' birthdays on this day and then try to make it to these kids' birthdays. But what if they're born on the same day? You're going to split the day up? And then what if something's going on where the kids want you to be there with them the whole time? And do these women even talk to each other? I mean, would it be a situation where they could all be together in the same room with Nick Cannon, if necessary? Let's say these kids, a couple of them are like 6 days apart, something like that. Let me go up. Let's go down. Let's scroll down. Because I want to be accurate when I say this. These women and all women are the ones that open themselves up and say, I would like to allow this man into my world and I will birth this child. What do you mean? It's called a condom. Why aren't they on contraceptives? So birth control is not a concept for these women. And they're stupid enough to sit here and procreate and pull these kids into this situation, knowing damn well he can't be physically present in person for all of these kids at one time like that. Unless they all live together in the same area, same community or whatever. Because it's not about you, Nick Cannon. It's about the children here that are going to have to experience a lot of neglect. Because you know you can't be there for all of them at once. So you got to pick and choose which child's birthday you're going to go to. You said white person cleared it. What? Name the individual. Aren't these dolls supposed to represent people? Well, it's just, some sort of figurative language here. What's the concept of marriage is derived from the Bible, which was written by Jews in the Middle East. I mean, it goes back before that. But yes, if we go along the lines, of course, as a Christian, I believe God created, mankind. So marriage, the idea and the institution of it existed well before the concept of Europe being a continent existed. And he's saying, oh no, it's a Eurocentric idea. No, it's not. You're saying that no other race of individuals understood the aspect of marriage. It's not something limited to that one continent. What about the other continents? North America, South America, Africa, Australia. Human beings existed on Earth, spread out everywhere, before nations started forming and being called what they are. You can't make this up. And he's trying to make it seem like, oh, it's the women's fault. They open themselves up to me, knowing damn well I refuse to wear a condom. You end up, man, giving around, spreading around HIV and AIDS or some STD or of any sort. Why would you risk that? Why would they be okay with him sleeping with not just themselves, but other women all at the same time like this? You mixing up all that bodily fluid? I hope they're getting tested regularly because, it's the expectation that they're not to date anyone else either. Are they all in a relationship with Nick Cannon? Is this a polygamous relationship? You can't make this up. They had marriages in the ancient world, so he can just say he doesn't want to get married again. Exactly, Francisco. Shout out to you. How you doing? Two become one. Exactly, Skeeter. Skeeter, how long have you and Mark been married? Do you mind me asking? How long have you and your husband been married? So that people can know that it's okay to be married and that you can actually be married for, rest of your life if you want to. You got to be able to say that you have found the right person in your life to be your husband and a wife, and that you are willing to work through problems and issues to have your marriage last. So if Nick Cannon doesn't want to get married again, you're right, Francis. That's what it comes down to. He just doesn't want to get married again. But what does it have to do, Nick Cannon, with you wanting to just get people pregnant? And then you're trying to make it seem like it's the women that's doing this. They opening themselves up and say, I would like to have this man in my world, have a child with him. Why does sex have to lead automatically to a pregnancy? Why can't you use a condom? Maybe they just want to have sex with him and not necessarily have his baby. But if he's not using condoms, they're not using contraceptives, they're willing to just sit here and get pregnant for what? Financial security? You're using these kids as leverage to try to get financial security. And Nick Cannon is dumb enough to do it. Because, it ain't my decision. I'm just following suit. Oh, my God. This is coming from somebody that's over 40 years old in 2021. It ain't my decision. I'm just following suit. So is there a line or number that women take where they call him and say, hey, I want to have your baby. You mind coming out? This is so stupid. He's an idiot. Nick Cannon is an idiot. And he's just bringing all these kids into his nonsense. He's involving all of these children into his nonsense. He's got the twins with Mariah. He's got 2 children with powerful Queen Cannon. What the? With a Miss Guam 2014 pageant winner. Does she still live in Guam? Because that would prove my point. You wouldn't be able to be there for these 2 kids if you got to be there for these 2 kids here. And there's something going on with these 2 kids where you got to miss out on anything going on with these 2 kids. And these are just 4 so far. We haven't even gotten down the list. Then he had 2 children with DJ Abby De La Rosa. And they're twins. And then it says, then just 9 days later, on June 23rd, became the father of the 5th son, Zen, with model Alisa Scott. I'm not going to keep butchering her name. 9 days later. Because Nick Cannon, there will be no earthly way that you would be able to be there for both of these twins and then this baby at once. They're 9 days apart. And they're by 2 different women. You got a set of twins and a single boy 9 days apart. So obviously he's not working anymore because he's going to spend the rest of his life traveling everywhere to try to be with a child for a birthday 9 days after the twins' birthday. These kids deserve better. They deserve to have 2 parents in the household. They deserve to have both parents present in their life constantly. Not when, daddy plane lands and he's able to catch a flight out. How many days of first days of school did he miss? Because all these kids go to, at some point they're going to get to school age. And I know as a mother, I love being there for my kids on the first day of school. First day of school, Christmas, and their birthdays. It's like, those are pivotal moments you don't want to miss with your kids. And that's not including extracurricular activities or anything like that. There's no way you're there for all these kids unless they're all living in the same house or they're all, all on the same street. Maybe they have houses where they're all in the same neighborhood. How does this go? You can't make this up. What's going on, Black Titanic? His seed is spreading across the country and he has no shame. Exactly. Polyamorous. What's going on, Bernard? My first marriage. Here we go. Saint has been married for 25 years. Shout out to you. Skeeter said her first marriage was 23 years. Mark is it. 9 years. I mean, so your second, okay, so Mark is 9 years and the first marriage was 23 years. That's still a long time. That's a blessing. Saint's been married for 25 years. Oh, you're saying you're polyamorous. Oh, okay, gotcha. But the fact that it's very possible to have a marriage last over 2 decades, it's like to Nick Cannon, it's a foreign concept. It's a Eurocentric concept to be married. As if no other race of people established the institution of marriage on earth in any reality in Nick Cannon's world. He's an idiot. Nick Cannon is stupid. Julie said, I was stationed in Guam when I was in the Navy. There is a high per capita of ladyboys there. Ooh. Thomas said, Lady Luck, what's up? I love your platform. Thank you. That warms my heart to hear. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is nice to hear that people are enjoying the content and we're growing the channel, the Luckster family here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're almost at 30,000 supporters. And I would love to be there by the end of next week. So make sure you're coming in, you're enjoying the content. I speak my mind on things. I just call a spade a spade. Everybody's not going to always agree, and that's okay. That's the beauty of free speech. As long as you don't try to infringe upon my free speech and my First Amendment rights and my opinion on things, I will not do that with you. And we don't have to agree on it. But I appreciate that. That's and I appreciate all of you. I got my mods in here are awesome. The supporters, the members, all of you guys are awesome. So make sure you guys hit that like button as well. Thank you so much, Thomas. Mark said that he needs to take command of his wayward. What's going on, RTs? Another mod. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, you all. I told you all my mods are awesome. There's no way he is there for all of those kids. Exactly. If he's in Guam, there's no way possible. And you're talking about this kid he had with this lady in Guam being 9 days apart from these twins. You can't make this up. And who's a DJ? Abby, is she really a DJ? This is crazy. And then you have this, he's got more kids since then. He's had more kids since then. He says, okay, if we're really talking about how we coexist and how we populate, it's about what exchange can we create together. No, it's about a human life that you've procreated that you need to stop treating like an object. These kids are not just objects to exchange. Exchange what we created together? Where's the exchange in this? Because these women are sitting here waiting on those child support checks. He probably would not have to, be put in a position where he's got to go to court. Because I don't think I've read anything about somebody having to take him to court. But it's the idea of you being there for these kids. That should go beyond money, Nick Cannon. Why you stupidly and ignorantly think that the institution of marriage is simply a Eurocentric idea, when other countries and other races of individuals understood the institution of marriage thousands of years, even before Europe was established as a continent. You can't make this up. You're treating kids like an object to exchange. I understand the institution of marriage, but we go back to what that was about. Oh, God. Because, more stupidity coming out of him. It was to classify property. So the kids are property. He added, referring to the dowry system, the practice of trading a woman into marriage in exchange for money or property that was popularized in England between the 12th and 18th centuries. You idiot. Human beings existed before the 12th century, let alone the 18th. What are you talking about? Marriage was in existence before the 12th century. Does he really think that humanity does not go past the 12th century? Because that's what he's saying here. That was not when marriage started. What is he talking about? He's so stupid. Nick Cannon is an idiot. Does he really believe that the institution of marriage was not established until the 12th century in England? In England, of all places. Not any country in Africa. Forget that. Or North America. Or South America. Or Asia. No. England, 12th century. That's where it started. What? What an idiot. How is he wealthy? Oh, that's right. He did dumb things. And he's like, he's not even a good actor. Get out of here. It's unclear whether the leading ladies of his life are happy about Cannon's staunch commitment to non-commitment. I mean, if they're stupid enough to sit here knowing that he's out here just sleeping with everybody because he's a public figure. You can't hide that. That's not something he could just keep secret. So they had to know he out here with a whole lot of women. Yeah, that's why I'm going to call him and see if he want to come lay with me and give me some babies. What? Every woman in my life that I deal with or have dealt with, they know how I feel. So, okay, so they are okay with you running around here procreating like you stupid. And it usually is a concept like, I'm not going around like, who am I going to impregnate next? Yet no, it sounds like that because you could be telling them no and wear a condom. If it's a matter of just sex, then you could just put on a condom. You can make sure you're not running around here raw dogging it, getting these women pregnant. It's so stupid. But they devalue themselves and they lower their value, and they decide to go along with this nonsense and bring kids into the situation where Nick Cannon sees them as an exchange because he thinks that marriage did not exist before the 12th century in England. He's an idiot. When you really look at how the family infrastructure is designed, the woman is the one that always leads and makes decisions. Where is he getting that from? Okay, so he doesn't believe that the men should be, head of the household and the leaders and the protectors. The one that helps to take care of the kids. It's so ridiculous. And these women are going along with it. He said, for every single one of my kids, I'm at every basketball game. I'm at every martial arts practice. People don't understand how I do it, but my children are my priority because it's not physically possible. It's not humanly possible. Ye who thinks that marriage did not exist before the 12th century in England. Never mind all the countries in Africa. In England. This is the idiot that decided to do an interview with this idiot right here. So we're going to check out some of this. It's 53 minutes long. I think this is his channel. I don't know. Cannon's Class TV. That might be. I don't know if it's a channel or not, but it's a clown show. And it's like a walking hypocrisy here. Two hypocritical oofs sitting here trying to have a conversation together. What's going on? Hey, the name. What's going on? What's the matter? Y'all, what am I missing here? Hold on. Well, that explains a lot. Hold on a second. Queen Malika up out the spot, please. See, Lana just peered down. Is that what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna check my email. So, y'all, we're gonna get to this, and I'll check my email. Thank you. What's going on, Rosetta? How you doing, honey? Sorry about that. How you doing? In case I'm not overlooking you all, I promise. I'm just trying to get some of the comments in. Hell, some struggle with one. Exactly, Ace. Thank you. He doesn't believe that men are head of the household either. So, how much is he paying in child support? It's my understanding he's not on actual, on paper with child support. I haven't seen any evidence of it. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's taking care of the kids without having to be dragged to court to do it. I'm sure he's getting DNA tests because if these women are willing to just lay up with him, there has to be some level of promiscuity involved. Because there's no way he expects them to think that they're in a devoted relationship with him. So what reason would they have to be unfaithful or to just have partners on the side themselves? Hell, who knows? A couple of them maybe even married. Somehow they want to have a baby with Nick Cannon and he's okay with that. Like, this is so crazy. He sounds like he's just pimping himself out. It's crazy. Hey, says we got a rat in the spot. Okay, shake the block chick. He is dumb. He is. I'm doing well. I'm okay. I'm still getting over a cold and my voice is a little itchy, scratchy. What is the deal? I'm just trying. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading the comments here. I don't see her. I guess she left. That queen lady. I guess she left. I like you and Lynn and Anna. Thank you, Thomas. Preach LLC. Listen, I'm just being honest here. As a mother, I would never want to have a baby with a man that I know is out here frivolously procreating and then sitting here talking about, oh no, institution of marriage is 12th century in England only and not before that. It's so crazy. And then, of course, the kids deserve to have both parents in their life as a consistent present in their life. Why should these kids miss out on being able to have their father in their life? Because he knows that he has way too many kids to keep up with, and he cannot be there for them physically in person for all of the children for every single event. He can't do it. He has got to find a way to keep making money because he's got what, 9, 10, 11, 911 kids. He got to take care of them all, financially speaking. This is so crazy. I think that Queen Lady left. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. Okay, I handled it. Thank you. Saint. Let me tell y'all something. And I'm going to say this before we watch this video. Let's say this Queen Lady is a rat or something like that. I mean, if they think they're being intimidating, they're not. These are the same people that think they know laws. And somehow they think Umar is opening a school. You're not. So, yeah, trying that nonsense on me don't work. It don't work at all. My supporters can tell y'all, listen, I don't play them games. I give out the information, I do research and reporting, and I'm going to be entitled to my opinion. I don't really care what they think. They are out here being goofies. But y'all, those dolls look like a page out of Tales from the Hood. It's still demonic. The end. Hey, I have the right to my opinion. They can challenge me on that. Guess what? My godmother's a retired federal judge, too. So good luck to that. Good luck to that one.
Nick Cannon will come to Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunnies Never in Nick Cannon's time. The sister with the weave will go natural in her time. The grandmother with the white Jesus, she will get a black Jesus in her time. Understood. You got to give people time to get to where they need to be. And we're the only ethnicity in America who's more loyal to their religion than they are to their community. Nobody else puts religion above race except Negroes, and that's why we last. Wow. If you challenge...
What? How is that profound? Umar, you're an idiot. You talk about the transatlantic slave trade, and yet you fail to read history where slaves depended heavily on the foundation of their faith. They would sing hymnals and spirituals while they were out in the fields working, picking cotton and sugar canes and all those other things that they were enslaved to do. They relied on their faith to aid them in being able to, rebel, start revolutions and rebellions. Harriet Tubman, being an abolitionist. They relied on their faith to get them through that. People were being separated from their families, their parents, their children. And you're saying that they should put faith aside for community, which means what? Wouldn't it be faith that helps you do more for your community? Because if for nothing else, my faith says that if I go out and help my neighbors, that at the very least, if God blesses me with nothing less than life, health, and strength, there is at least some blessing in this. You reap what you sow. That's a biblical scripture based on the foundation of Christian faith. You shall reap what you sow. So from that alone, what do you mean? That catapults and energizes people to want to do more for their community. Because they're compelled to do it because of their faith. Because they believe in helping people. Because they believe that, this is the right thing to do. And to show some sort of goodwill towards, your fellow brethren. And he's saying you should not, it's the faith that it's the religion that keeps people from being a part of a community. What?
The white power structure, you got to have people you can trust with your life because one day you may have to. That's also why it can make it difficult for me to date. Because of the celebrity part of who I am, women often want to be able to brag that I know him personally. You can't do that because what if I need to hide out at your house? I can't. So the dating game gets tricky because women don't understand you got to shut up. And what we got, you got to keep it to yourself because I might need you to do something for me that could be a matter of life or death. And I can't trust you because you're too loose with your lips. You can't.
Yeah, like, getting loans for him and giving him money and thinking that you're supposed to just cook and feed him and, just be there for him as a sexual object and nothing more. Because that's all Umar sees women as, because he hates black women. Just see them as sexual objects. That's it. That's as good as it gets. You talking to someone who stated from the article we just read that the women make the decisions. So Nick Cannon doesn't even believe that men are the head of the household. And that you get Umar talking about basically looking at women for someone to help bail him out and support him and not the other way around because he doesn't have a job or a sense of community or family. Somehow marriage still involves him thinking he can marry two women. So he's a polygamist as well as Nick Cannon. This is so crazy.
And do that when you dating the activists.
Honor, privilege, and a pleasure once again. Backed by popular demand, and so much to unpack here. The one and only good Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to be with you, brother Nick.
Exactly.
Yes, man.
Polygamy.
Obviously, our last session turned up quite a bit because we were speaking of the importance of taking care of our own, and whether that's in politics, whether that's in the space of finances, and building our communities. You honed in on something very important, one that you're doing not only as an activist but as a true leader, is education. You speak about our prominent black individuals, are very well off black individuals, not doing enough for our community. We're not building banks, we're not building schools, we're not building institutions that will actually benefit the black community.
LeBron James built the whole school. So did Jalen Rose. You've had whole black communities that existed even during or even before, the Jim Crow segregation era. You had whole black communities that existed that were predominantly black, where, people were business owners, homeowners. They kept everything in the community until, something happened and racist people decided to burn it down. You know how many communities have been destroyed because of an accusation that a black man did something with a white woman? This is during the zenith of Jim Crow and racism, where black people weren't supposed to have their own businesses, and yet you had black communities that supported each other and were predominantly black and were, some of them, very wealthy. So what is Nick Cannon talking? This is the same idiot that thinks that marriage did not exist before the 12th century in England. I want you all to keep that in mind as he sits here and rambles off.
But there's a lot of pageantry. And I would love for you to unpack that space and in this session, as well as getting to, the importance of your latest book, Black Parent Advocate, because again, that all circles back into the black household and the importance of that. But I would love to start in a space where we started last time. I mean, we dealt in the world of politics because that's the topic that's prevalent right now. But I think even removing politics, getting back to the black community taking care of its own, and you have openly criticized a lot of our prominent individuals for not doing enough for the black community. But I would question, do we really know that that's our duty, and has there ever been an example of someone who has done that before?
It's absolutely our duty, because from a revolutionary historical perspective, from a black cultural perspective, men are supposed to be men under any and all circumstances. Women are supposed to be women under any and all circumstances. No matter what your profession is, your religion, your status, your tax bracket, being a black man and fulfilling that God-given obligation should be your priority. Being a black woman and fulfilling that God-given responsibility should be your priority. So the notion that my wealth, my fame, my status, my celebrity, my tax bracket alleviates me from the burden of helping black people redeem themselves is unacceptable. You follow me? Nobody gets to opt out based on their income bracket. Everyone must serve. And part of the reason why you should is when you are no longer the celebrity that white people can exploit, if you get caught doing the wrong thing, they will treat you just like any other ninja in your community, i.e. Bill Cosby and a whole host of other people. So you're going to need your community sooner or later again anyway. Because one thing we know about the white power structure is when they're done sucking your last drop of financial blood, they throw you back to the wolves. So you need to make sure that you have a good relationship and a good standing with your own people. Somebody like you're not.
Well, Umar, you will never have that when you keep lying to people or covering up how money is being spent, that you expect people to donate to you as if somehow you're king of the universe. You're not. You can't even ensure that black mold is being treated in those 2 bandos that you did not buy. You can't even ensure that. You can't even pay the judgment that was ordered by the court for a water bill, vacant property registration fees, or even do the damn paperwork to get a waiver for it. And let's not forget about the cease and desist order issued against you from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania because you failed once again to submit documents to be able to collect donations as a nonprofit. You brought that on yourself. You're 51 years old. You want to blame it on the community, not just overlooking stuff? No. That's the same dumb shit he said when it came to, the inspection thing. I just hope they just kind of overlook it and just give me a pass and this, that, and the thing. No, you don't want to earn nothing. You don't want to work for anything. You want it to be handed to you. This is the narcissism that is Umar, talking to another wombat that believes that marriage did not exist before the 12th century in England. What an idiot.
Want to have that issue because no matter what people might say about a Nick Cannon, you try to see how you can help. You will at least have the conversation. A lot of celebrities won't even entertain the conversation. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. So yes, the obligation never goes away. But I want to say this because I don't want to unfairly criticize our celebrities. The black community is responsible for the selling out of its celebrities. If you notice, no other community tolerates betrayal from its celebrities except black people because we raise our children not to be loyal to the community. We tell them to get a good education, get a good job, and get away from these ninjas. They are raised.
Yeah, no, because Umar, you've added nothing of value to black people. You've raked them over the coals for money for over 11 years towards you saying that a school is going to open that has never opened. You can't even give a damn curriculum or a financial plan on how you're going to pay teachers and staff. So no one owes you anything.
To betray and sell out. So I'm not going to focus too much on the Serena, Bunny Hopper. I'm not going to focus too much on the Tyler Woods, Bunny Hopper. I'm not going to focus too much on the Jay-Z or Sean Carter or Oprah Winfrey. Because if you take them out of the milieu, in 50 years, you will have people to replace them who will be no less snobbish and no more committed to black people than they are. So what I'm saying, Brother Nick, there's a process. The black community has a dysfunctional process that allows our celebrities to turn their back on the community and still be celebrated anyway. I mean, look at President Obama. He was a politician, and we allowed him to take care of everybody else except black people, and we still celebrated him. So for me, the way to deal with the celebrity is to get back to community and let's decide as a people what we stand for and what we expect from every member in the community, not just the celebrities. Because again, Nick, you could switch them out, put another Negro in their place, and they would be just as much of a betrayer of their culture as the ones who are in there. It ain't the personality, it's the system that gives birth to them. Get rid of the gangster rappers right now. In 30 years, you'll have something worse than them because the system, the dysfunctional black community, creates adults who have no loyalty to it. And a big reason for that is we are so stuck on religion as American Africans that our primary loyalty is to religion before it is to our race. And we're the only ethnicity in America who's more loyal to their religion than they are to their community. Nobody else puts religion above race except Negroes, and that's why we last.
Wow. That's heavy.
Wow, we last again? How does that make us last? So you mean to tell me any other race that puts faith and religion at the forefront is still somehow beating us? And let's say we do the same thing as a people. So black people put religion first. We're failing. any other race that does the same thing, they're going to thrive. Are you kidding? Why is he sitting here attacking the black community for having some sort of foundation of faith? It's just so stupid. What is his religion? Don't he walk around here talking about black magic and voodoo and shit? Or how, Ifa Tunde is somehow a thing in his world? At some point, he has some level of religion. It might sound demonic as usual, but of course, he puts that first. He weaponizes it to be a narcissist and then try to weaponize religion to try to get money out of people. Because he knows that black people are more connected to their faith. You can get a lot of black people to help you out when you can tug at their heartstrings over the concept of faith and religion. That's the same thing Candace Owens is doing. She claims she's a Christian or a Catholic or whatever. And she uses that when it's convenient to try to get all her candy ass cult followers to believe everything she says. Do you know how many cult leaders have walked around that were not black, that weaponized religion? Jim Jones, let's start with him. David Koresh. What's it, the Stargazer, Star something? Those are three right there that was spearheaded by white people that put their religion first, their so-called religion as they wanted to see it first, and they destroyed communities. They cost people their lives. Jim Jones literally led over 500 men, women, and children to their deaths, putting religion first. So how is it that the black community is being eroded, but not all these damn cults that's spearheaded by other individuals of different races and ethnicities? Are you kidding me? It goes against the idea of a cult. Many of them are based on some sort of religion or some sort of spirituality that people weaponize. But it's not just black people. What the hell?
I mean, you
Put the race first.
Really?
We got to learn to put the race first. The most divine thing that you belong to is your race, because God made you an African. You made yourself a black Greek. You made yourself an Eastern Star. You made yourself a Jack and Jill. You made yourself a Divine Nine. You made yourself a Muslim, a Christian, a Jehovah's Witness, an atheist. You chose those things, and you could give them up tomorrow. You can never stop being black, even if you tried. Blackness is the most divine group membership we have, and that's why we should stand on it first.
Wow.
Ooh, that's so blasphemous as a Christian to hear that. I mean, honestly, Jesus doesn't care about your skin color. He knows exactly who and what you are. He created us. But it doesn't matter. What matters to God is what lies in your heart. And because of that, many people understand and have a close relationship with God. And that aids them in helping the community. So he's saying push religion to the side because, blackness. And for what? Umar, when are you going to get a job and show proof of how donation dollars have been spent for the last 11 years while you lied and misled and deceived people to believe that you're going to open up a school? And it wasn't even going to be both schools at the same time, because you said this yourself on that Faber Baba Yaga radio interview. We were only going to do the smaller school and see how that goes. And then, we were going to go on to focus on the bigger school. He was never even going to open both schools at once. And you want people to put religion aside just to try to manipulate the masses to give you more money? Because community, a term he can't define.
Now, I just want to play devil's advocate for a moment. What about the individuals who say that this rhetoric and this ideology is the same as white supremacy?
How? I haven't advocated the hurt or harm of a single white person. I haven't advocated the hurt or harm of a single group of color. And of course, when I say group of color, they don't include black.
You advocated for hurt and harm of black people, because cyber crimes. You and the Umar Tardians walk around here cyber harassing people, bullying people, doxing people. You send out the old Goonie Goon squads to go out and actually go to people's homes. And for what? You're not God, Umar. You're not comparable to such, you dumb demon. You have committed cyber crimes against people. to the point where people have had to file lawsuits against you, file complaints against you. Probably one of the reasons why your YouTube channel is not monetized. You have sent people out to people's homes because they criticized you. You idiot. You don't want to sit down here. You should have already been investigated by FBI. You scare people out of reporting you committing cyber crimes because you want to have your way and throw tantrums when you don't like when someone's saying something because words hurt your feelings.
So we don't ever get lumped in. We alone. Okay. I haven't advocated hurt or harm, bias or discrimination against any other human family. I'm simply putting the priorities of my people first because the priorities of my people are always last on the list of priorities of any other community. Well, no group has ever come to America. First of all, we already know white folks have never done right by us. It's been 4 centuries and they haven't done right by us. So now let's look at all the immigrants and the people of color. Name me the group of color. Name me the nationality, the immigrant group that has ever come to America and stood shoulder to shoulder, toe to toe with black folks in defense of our rights. I'll listen. Nobody. They have all benefited from us. None of them have reciprocated.
What ethnicity are you talking about here? You've had all kinds of ethnicities come together to help support black people and black communities. Did you not know in history that you had Asian descent individuals in these predominantly black communities that were the only ones selling groceries to black people and accepting what was seen as slavery money, basically? They would utilize that as a form of currency and accept that. And I'm talking about people of Asian descent here that had stores in majority black communities, especially during slavery and after slavery ended, and it was still segregated and racist. Racism rampant. You had Asians that were opening up grocery stores and accepting this slavery-based type currency money so that black people could buy items they needed. So since we're not talking about the Europeans, let's go to the Asians. Hell, you talking about? Does he not understand anything from history? This is coming from someone who wrote a dissertation that sounds like a third grader put it together, and he tried to hide it. And I made sure that it was retrieved, Umar. And I said, for every degree you claim you have, I'm going to get your dissertation for it. You can't take somebody like this seriously when he has not mastered the English language. F out of here.
Not one. Now, you've had individuals.
Right.
I'm not talking about individuals. I said community. Give me one community of color that has ever stood up and stood out in defense of black life and black rights. Nobody did. They don't come to America to struggle with you. They come to America to replace you. And that's why you got the migrant crisis right now. This is the purge.
Wow. So in that sense, because the idea of America is the great melting pot, and that idea that ultimately everybody is going to be of one race, and that is the goal of so many.
Who told you that nonsense?
I'm walking.
Okay, he's.
You have the judge. You have the defense.
Hold
You
on.
can choose any psychologist you want in the state of California to reevaluate your child. And why would we want to do that, Nick? Because we want to make sure that the scores and the skill levels that we're getting are authentic. Because the school psychologists could lie.
Right.
They can make your child look worse. They can make your child look better based on whatever the agenda of the school is.
Yeah, the same thing you did, which is one of the reasons why you lost a job in a school, because you called yourself trying to diagnose a child. Yeah, isn't that the reason why you got fired, Umar? You're not certified. You're not a practicing psychologist at all. You have a degree, and we question that because your stupid ass dissertation was somehow submitted to somebody, and they thought it was good. That's got to be the biggest grift of all. Umar getting a doctorate degree from PCOM with that sloppy ass third grade written level dissertation that he submitted to 3 advisors who were, and get this, all white people. The 3 advisors at PCOM in the psychology department, the time that he allegedly submitted this dissertation, were all Caucasian. All 3 of them. Part of his dissertation was based on information from a Caucasian woman So what are you talking about? I've gone over that dissertation too. K-12 management spearheaded by a white man that purchased those two bandos you call a school. But yet he's sitting here talking about, oh, the white man is keeping me down. Really?
Wow.
You have to be careful. A school team, an IEP team, an academic behavior intervention team, Brother Nick, is just like going to court. When you show up as a criminal in court, you have the judge, you have the defense attorney, you have the prosecutor, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? Before you got to court, the judge, the defense attorney, and the prosecutor, they didn't already met, huddled, and decided what they're going to do with you.
Wow.
You showing up in the courtroom was just smoke and mirrors.
Right.
That was theater.
Yeah.
We already know how much time you're going to get. Same thing with special ed. Before the parent signs permission to evaluate, the school psychologist, the classroom teacher, the principal, and already huddled and decided what they're going to do with your kid. That evaluation, smoke and mirrors.
Really? So you're empowering people with the knowledge,
information to fight for their children themselves.
Right.
Because our parents think whatever the school says is the way it got to go. No, it don't. There's an area of law.
That's common knowledge. You don't need to sit here and get a degree to tell somebody that. That is common knowledge. That is common knowledge. You can pull up the research on standardized testing in general on your own. You are a non-factor in spreading that information. Now, to the Umar Tardians, because they don't read or research or Google or anything, maybe. But to the rest of humanity, which outweigh your dumb coat, yeah, no, we don't need you to tell us that. No one needs to have a doctorate degree to understand the aspect of standardized testing. No one needs that.
All called school law, Brother Nick, and I'm even contemplating going back to grad school. I don't want to, but I'm thinking about going back to law school to become an educational attorney because we ain't got no major black law attorneys, man.
Wow.
There's not one black attorney I know in this country who specializes in educational and special education law. They all white.
Don't make me
I
look
don't know
this
one.
up.
Wow.
Don't make me have to look this up.
So I'm thinking I might have to go back and become that educational attorney. So when cases have to go into the courtroom, I could be there to properly advocate for those children. And given my background in psychology and education, I would be able to do a damn good job because not only could I advocate legally, I also know what that paperwork's supposed to look like.
Right. So how does Dr. Umar manage his bandwidth and what he deems important?
Well, as you know, my cell number is public.
Yeah.
It's been public for the 19 years that I had it. I've had this number since I went to Africa the first time, 05.
Wow.
So it's 19 years. Everybody has my number. I don't take phone calls. I only take text messages. And when people text me, I screen them to see if this is something worth my time.
Right.
99% of the people who text me, I respond to them. 1% I ignore because that's not a question for me. That's something you can find out on your own.
Right.
Or you just a YouTubian struggle streamer looking for some nonsense. You feel me?
Right.
So believe it or not, even though
But
the
he
number
gets
is
mad
public
when we
and I
actually
get
Google
messages from all over the
what he
world,
talks about.
I'm not overburdened by it because I get to decide what I respond to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once the school opens up and educating our children will take more of my attention, then I will probably have to delegate some people to handle certain aspects of social media and telephone calls and that kind of thing. Because once the school open, that's my priority.
Right.
You know, second only to my mother, of course.
Right.
So things are going to change when the doors open.
Right. So, and that's exciting in itself because I know that's something that you've been working towards for quite some time.
Yes,
But
yes.
during that time, you have become a leader.
Yes.
A true activist, unlike some of the people that you don't believe are activists. People look to you for knowledge, wisdom, information, understanding.
No, they don't. Well, he's Umar
and
Tardy.
now, like you said, you're on the circuit of from education facilities, institutions to podcasts, and this ultimately has become a career for
Yes, it
Dr.
has.
Umar
It has.
Johnson as
It
well.
has.
So, I mean, the value in that.
Yeah, 'cause
and
all he
again,
does
going
is
back to your
speaking
bandwidth and your message, because sometimes this is a school, this is a classroom right here.
It is.
You're educating so many, and I know you put importance on your brick and mortar.
Yes.
But there's only so many young people that are going to
be served there.
Be served
And
there.
you brought that up earlier with regard to the virtual academy,
Right.
which I do want to build. But the virtual cannot come before the physical. And the
Tell me
reason why
why.
for me, the virtual school cannot come before the physical school is if you put the virtual out before the physical, if the virtual fails because parents are not implementing the curriculum as designed,
Right.
people will assume the physical will fail as well. So to make sure you control your brand and your product, you do the physical. So
Right.
everybody can see this works when it's done.
Right.
Now, I'm going to hand it over to you. If you don't do it the right way, that's on you. It ain't on us because, as you can see, it works.
Right.
But for me to put it out into the virtual world where I'm going to be at the behest of parents who may or may not be motivated to implement this the way that I designed it, that could risk destroying the reputation of FDMG.
Yeah, because he has no design. What is that design? See, here's the thing, Umar. You have not created a curriculum. So when you speak of design, that works hand in hand with you having a curriculum established. So what the hell is your curriculum again? Because when someone asks you to create that, you got mad. So what is the curriculum that you're trying to implement? After 11 years, wouldn't you have that figured out and written down? You see, this is why Jamar was trying to offer you resources to help put you around people that could help you establish things like a curriculum, a financial budget, you know, develop us a website. Because what's the website linked to the school? Somehow I've missed where the school has a website. What is a website for FDMG? This is mundane, small, minute things that people establish up front for any business, not just a school. Start with a website, providing information about the company. And then, if you're talking about education, a curriculum, a financial plan. How the hell are you going to pay the teachers and pay the expenses, the property registration fees, the water bill, the electricity bill? How do you plan on paying those things if you do get a school open? And where the hell is Nick Cannon in all of this? I mean, because obviously Nick Cannon is going to give him a bunch of money to open up the schools, right? You sitting here talking about black communities and all this other stuff, Nick Cannon. With this idiot Umar Johnson, did you give him all the money he needed to open up these schools? How about you buy things like he tried to, he blocked the man trying to give him school desk that he didn't even have to purchase because he's not trying to open a school. This is the lack of research that these stupid podcasters like Nick Cannon fail to do. And then they give these softball interviews. And then they let him ramble on about dumb shit that makes no sense. It's not historically correct at all. And yes, I am Googling who are the black educational lawyers in the country.
So we got to go physical first.
All right. So then I want to go philosophical for a moment because, and still staying on the subject of bandwidth, we've seen Dr. Umar speak on many different topics. We see the ones that go viral.
Yeah.
They usually include words like snow bunny or
black wings forever. Snow bunnies never.
Or coons. Or you have such a gift of gabs, a way with words, just such an order, and even a comedian in some senses, to where we see your memes go viral. We see your terms go viral, but at the same time, you're a true doctor. You're a true educator. You're a true author in that sense. Philosophically, when managing your bandwidth, how do you say, all right, I'm going to entertain, I'm going to educate, or I'm just going to be outspoken and controversial, but all to garner, attention and energy, but then to give out what as we build this brand of Dr. Umar Johnson?
It all depends on the setting. If I'm in church and they ask me to do a sermon, I'm going to keep it strong, serious, boom. If I'm coming to a university, it's going to be 80% message, but I got to throw 20% humor in there to keep their attention. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
The humor is strategically used to keep their attention because unfortunately our people aren't serious enough, Nick, to entertain a very serious conversation that doesn't have any entertainment appeal to it. You follow what I'm saying? So I do that purely to hook them.
Right. Okay.
If I walk into a room and everybody's dead serious, I'm staying serious the whole time.
Right.
If I walk into a room, I'm like, I know I ain't got them back there. I'm going to have to hook them.
Right.
I'm going to have to throw a few jokes at them. I believe that one of the reasons I've been, if you want to use the word successful, no, effective. One of the reasons I've been so effective in our community.
Why would you need to hook someone, period, if you have a curriculum? If people could just look at the information and you've already opened a school after 11 years. Or you can show proof of how you're spending the money. You don't need to hook anybody if you're doing the right thing. See what I mean? He plays on people's emotions and then he speaks in this, preacher speak, right? Sounds like a pastor hoopla in church. He has this sort of preacher style delivery here because he knows that right there, even with the cadence of his delivery, it has people believe, they associate that with something religious based. He sounds like a preacher, like a con artist preacher walking around here talking about I need $50 million for a plane. Creflo Dollar. But he speaks like that because he knows it works. It gets people's attention in the black community because they are faith-based. They are putting religion at the center point as a focal point of their lives. And he knows it works. So he weaponizes it. That's why he sounds like a preacher every time he talks. This is what he does to get more money out of people.
From the elders all the way down to the babies. is because although I am absolutely uncompromising in my political positions, I don't expect you to be just like me. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Nick Cannon doesn't have to be Dr. Umar for Dr. Umar to be Nick Cannon's brother. You feel me? I walk into a room and there's 6 sisters in there.
I'm done.
That's not hard because when they see it, when you know something,
I can't wait to show up. The opening day.
Hold on,
they
hold
know.
on. Let me go
All my
back.
professors at Howard, though, they love you.
It's
They
you.
you know, they love you. But I've been in many different settings where
Yeah,
they try to call you a pseudo psychologist.
Yes.
Not knowing that you literally have all the credits.
The Board of Psychology in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania doesn't even want his ass to go and get a license, Nick Cannon. You know, one more thing you failed to research before this stupid ass interview. You understand that the Board of Psychology said years back that they would not even want him to try to get a license to practice psychology because he's already lied about being a certified psychologist, something that he still says to this very day. He allows even other people, podcasters, people interviewing him. I pulled the video up last week where the interview he did with the guy that was wearing the Jordans called him a certified psychologist in his introduction. Did Umar correct him on that? Hell no. But the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania already said, whether you're inside of the state or outside the state, they have the duty to ensure that you're not sitting here using restricted terms, weaponizing this so-called flunky ass degree you think you've earned to try to purport yourself as a psychologist as if you're practicing psychology. And the only time you should really be doing it is if you, one, have a certification in child psychology to actually be able to do that in a school and you're employed with the school or contracted with the school. That's what the court document said. So if he gets reported for still trying to purport himself to be a psychologist, it will be all his fault because he got it coming. He has no respect for the rule of law. He doesn't care about the effect that it has when you're running around here lying, talking about you can practice psychology on somebody, that you can diagnose someone, that you can do an assessment. He wasn't even supposed to be doing it outside of his employment. And he still, this is 9 months ago, but this is after the hearings that were conducted from the Board of Psychology. And here he is still sitting here purporting himself to be a practicing psychologist. So he learned nothing. What an idiot.
Accreditations that you need and actually have done the actual work.
Absolutely.
And
they really know that.
They know that. And
Nick Cannon got on his
contrary
head.
to popular belief, the school is coming.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, FDMG
That's why
is
I'm hard
happening.
because when they see it,
The school
when
is
you know
coming.
something.
I can't wait to show.
Nick Cannon, when is the school coming? Because, you know, you seem to have all the answers and stuff. Once again, something you have not researched. When is that school coming? Why do we see Black Mo growing outside of the buildings? I can tell you all right now, Nick Cannon would never allow his 911 children to go to any school that Umar could possibly think about opening. He would never allow his kids to go to that school. You know, he got his kids in private schools, or at least top tier schools that may be public. There's no way Nick Cannon would allow his kids to go to any school from Umar. So unless Nick Cannon is giving this man money to open these schools up, Nick Cannon, when is this going to happen again when there's no school website? How is it coming?
What? The opening day, I'll be there with you.
Come through. That'll be strong. That'll be
Yeah,
strong.
So, but I say all
never.
of that to say,
Never.
we've seen the discourse. Is there anybody in this space, media or higher education, academics, that Dr. Umar is a fan of, that you do get along with, that you say, I rock with that person?
Father
Tremendous respect for Dr. Claude Anderson.
Oh, of course.
Tremendous respect for David Banner.
My brother.
Although we're on opposite ends of the ideological spectrum, tremendous respect for my brother Killer Mike.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of folks.
You haven't named any educators, though, and that's I mean, other than Dr.
None of
Claude.
them you would name, though.
Because any educator would call Umar a fraud in a hot minute. He doesn't speak like an educator. He acts like he's still 16, 17 years old, talking about he sagged his pants. But most educators would easily be able to call Umar the con and the fraud that he is. Especially when he keeps talking about he's opened up a school. These educators are not going to play that nonsense with him. I don't understand how he's able to get any appearances on school campuses right now. Some of them have him banned. Some of them do not want him to come ever. These educators are not dumb. They see what a clown he is. The good ones anyway. I don't know what to say about the ones that still want to kiss his ass. Umar has done nothing for the black community. Look at what he's doing now. He's still lying about this stuff.
They don't have the notoriety.
Okay.
But I had a lot
But
of
even like in certain institutions. I mean, I just want to know because when
Florida A&M University, Department of Psychology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of them out there.
Okay.
You know, a lot of past presidents of the Association of Black Psychologists. Like, I have a secret cabinet of black scholars and educators who support me, but they can't do it publicly because they can lose their job.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, but what about those 3 advisors that actually, somehow felt that it was, a good thing to give you a degree based on that sloppy ass dissertation you submitted? Those are educators. Those 3 advisors that said somehow, yeah, this is a good dissertation. We're good with this. And then they agreed for you to get a degree, allegedly. What about those 3? What about the educator that you used, whose data you used in your dissertation? Who's a whole Caucasian woman, by the way. She's a doctor too of psychology. She works in psychology. She's also certified and licensed. So what the hell?
And I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
Does Dr. Umar, because when I hear you speak about, Booker T, you speak of Garvey, you speak of Frederick Douglass, you speak of people that are no longer here.
Yes, sir.
That you look up to and admire. Are there any current mentors or trust or cabinets that you look to and say, when Dr. Umar.
Shout out the Information Man Show. Can I get one of the mods to drop the YouTube channel link for Information Man Show? Black Anonymous, if you're still here, feel free to drop the link to your YouTube channel as well. Don't be shy. You guys know I don't mind supporting other content creators. How you doing? I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the Information Man Show. Let's go.
Umar is having an issue. This is who I go talk to. This is who I get it.
Like I have so I got that educator, scholar, secret cabinet.
Right.
But then I also have an elder. I have my own council of elders.
Really?
But none of them are of national stature. So back in Philadelphia, I have 2 elder Moors. They're of the Moor Science Temple.
Okay.
But they've been with me since I resigned as.
Yeah, Moors that think that they're somehow sovereign in the United States of America and that parts of this land is owned by Morocco, to which they have not been able to give any factual background on in any point in time at all. And let's not forget now, if these same clowns were to go to Morocco, which I believe they should just go to since they don't want to be, U.S. citizens, they don't believe our laws apply to them. Why not just move your asses to Morocco? Let's see how fast the Morocco government kicks their asses right back out because they believe that they should just live for free. Squatters and shit, they walk around here not wanting to pay rent or anything because they think that, life should be handed to them on a silver platter. Not all of them, but most of them. And you get this state of mind where they think they're above the rule of law. And then they have court's time and money held up over a speeding ticket or a traffic citation. Main ones be walking around talking about, I'm not a man. I'm a man. I'm not the name entity on this paper. Yeah, okay. But then they still show up for court because they know better. Don't go to court, and then you get capious and there's a bench warrant issued for your arrest. So they go to court, talk all that nonsense, and it doesn't work in court. These are the same people he's saying he looks up to when it comes to him being a so-called intellect scholar and all this other nonsense. Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't all y'all go back to Morocco then?
Minister of Education from the UNIA, Baba Jack and Baba Peace. You feel me?
Okay.
I go see them. I talk to them. I got some queen mothers. I got elders spread out all over the world. I got them in London. I got them in Africa. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I call on them as necessary. Sometimes they just call on me like, listen, we got to talk to you about something. I want to check you on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do have them. But I think it's best that they kind of remain unseen for their safety and for my ability to engage with them.
So
because who's to say 5 years from now, brother Nick, I got to go underground
right.
like an H-Rap Brown or a Stokely Carmichael.
Yeah.
I got to hide out.
Yeah.
I can't hide out with them because I done told the world
who they are.
Yeah.
You know so would you say?
Because they don't exist. They don't exist. He has Ogoni goons all over YouTube that have no problem doing videos trying to defend him, even though they can't produce a shred of financial statements or documents or reports or anything, vendor invoices, receipts to show how money is being spent. Or what's the school website again? But yet he's got a board, he's got a whole cabinet, he's got Moorish Americans sitting here that are supposed to be more educated than those who actually have degrees and licenses and certificates to practice in their field. Because reasons.
A brother in your position, or whether it's an activist or any type of leader, is that the advice to that one should always have a
secret cabinet, secret support network? Absolutely.
Right.
If you're challenging the white power structure, you got to have people you can trust with your life, because one day you may have to.
So because we've heard all the conspiracies. Yeah.
That's also why it can make it difficult for me to date. Because of the celebrity part of who I am, women often want to be able to brag that I know him personally.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
Because what if I need to hide out at your house? I can't.
Right.
You done told the world we know each other on a non-public level.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Why would you need to hide out of somebody's house? What about hiding out in your own home and keeping that confidential? Where do you live, Umar? Because last time we checked, it looks like you live in the gym of that bando, breathing in all that mole spore from Black Mo.
So the dating game gets tricky because women don't understand you got to shut up. And what we got, you got to keep it to yourself, because I might need you to do something for me that could be a matter of life or death, and I can't trust you because you're too loose with your lips.
Right.
You want everybody to know. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do that when you're dating the activists, because I need people who I can go to in times of need, and ain't got to worry about the FBI tapping your phones.
Wow.
But if you done made it a point to let everybody know I know him,
You done told everybody on the gram.
I can't go.
Wait a minute. You have people that do not deny knowing you, Umar. You're an idiot. What about your old Goonie Goons? The ones that were named in lawsuits, and one of them thinking that he can just go out and essay somebody in your name because reasons. You out of your damn mind, boy. This is the same man that does not like to be served a summons or a subpoena for court. He can't even follow through on lawsuits that he initiate because he's too stupid to understand how to fill out a petition in the first place. Because you tried to sue Lennon on him. How did that work out for you, Umar? How did that go? Because I went over that lawsuit. It was dismissed with prejudice for failure to prosecute. You didn't even try to get a waiver for the court costs, nor did you want to pay the fees. But yet and still, Lennon Honor was such a threat to you. And when you had the opportunity to sue him, you flaked out because you're a coward. What an idiot.
So this is serious business.
It's
What
very serious.
I was going to tap into was,
sometimes being a celebrity part, and I'm not a celebrity, I'm an activist, but being branded as a celebrity, it works against the activism.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because they think it's all the pictures and the memes.
Right.
No, ninja, we got work to do.
Right.
And I brought people into my movement who I had to let go, Nick, in a matter of weeks because they didn't know we do work here, bro.
It's real work.
This ain't just Facebook and Instagram and speeches. We do work, and they only wanted to be around for the glamour and the glitz, none of the elbow work.
So that's what I was going to talk.
What work does he
I
do?
wanted to dig deeper in that, even talk about the severity and even the danger of the work that you do, because it looks.
What is the danger? If he were doing the right thing, he wouldn't be pissing people off. Nick Cannon, you're an idiot. This is the man that believes that the institution of marriage did not exist before the 12th century in England. Y'all, I can do this shit all day. Why in the world does he think that he calls himself an advocate? I thought he was an intellectual scholar, the most requested. Where's the danger in that? See, if Umar did the right thing, no one would be looking for him or putting him in the line of danger. Umar, were you in danger when you passed out at that event and then tried to lie about it and say, no, I didn't pass out, and still has not mentioned exactly what the hell happened? Why would you be ashamed of passing out? But you want people to think that somehow you would have to hide out of somebody's house that you don't own, your name not on a lease or anything. You can't even prove that you have a vehicle in your name. How are you spending the donation money again? And why is that not being reported to the IRS? What exactly is your salary, Umar? I can ask all these questions here because none of that to me gives off anything that someone is just going to put you in a line of danger when we would rather you be investigated by the IRS and the FBI. We don't want you in danger. We want you in jail. Get out of here.
entertainment to a lot of
It does
people.
to a lot of people.
And they often, like I said, we've heard the conspiracy theories of
Yeah, well,
yesteryear,
Yes,
of
yes.
the J. Edgar Hoovers and
And those forces are still with us. New names.
Can you
same
tell?
system.
That's what I
Yeah,
want
the
to tell. Like,
force. May
how
the force be
dangerous
with
is it
you,
to be Dr. Umar Johnson?
It's very dangerous. I get the death threats.
Really?
And I get them regularly. Oh, yeah. I was
And now,
like-
do you feel like that's
Why would you not post that up, Umar? You don't mind rebuttaling somebody that's saying that you passed out. You don't mind going after women. You don't mind sending Oguni goons after people who are critical of you. You didn't mind going off on Jamar because he was trying to offer you some help. So why didn't you post up these so-called death threats and messages? Why aren't you going to the police or the authorities or the FBI about it? Is it because it doesn't exist? Is it because these so-called, death threats aren't real? Because a narcissist like Umar, especially one where he wants to, weaponize everybody's emotions or everything, thinking that's going to get him more donations, would definitely post up a death threat if he received them. Because wouldn't that make people more sympathetic to your plight? He can't even narcissist the right way. He can't even do narcissism right.
systemic? Do you feel like that's?
I think it's both. I think it's Coons who tested me, and then I also think it's the power struggle.
Nobody's studying you,
When I was in
idiot.
Costa Rica,
We want you in jail.
speaking for Garvey Day a couple weeks ago, August 17th, and this is in one of the original Garvey houses because Costa Rica one of the first places he went even before he came here.
Wow.
In fact, he wasn't really known yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I'm sitting outside after my lecture. These two guys came up and sat next to me, and they're asking me questions about Philly, and they claiming to be from Philly. So I start asking them questions about Philly, and they knew nothing about what I was talking about.
Wow.
And I said, they're not from Philly.
Right.
These is agents. They were sent there to find out what I was doing there, to see if I'm causing trouble with the Costa Rican African people and so forth and so on. They were straight agents. I had a sister from LA who was an FBI agent.
Really?
She pulled me to the side. She wasn't assigned to me.
Yeah.
At least she said she wasn't.
Yeah.
But she said, yo, they watching you. I'm letting you know right now, they're watching you.
When you get FBI complaints, typically that's what happens. They start investigating you. Let's not pretend like that's a secret that you've been reported to the FBI. But whoever told you that, it certainly didn't matter because you don't even like to be served. You sit here and lie about paying a water bill on a building, on a bando, and then when you're forced to do it by a court order, then guess what? You come out the woodworks then. That goes to show when it comes down to anything involving an investigation or litigation matters in general, Umar is a coward. He can't even stand on his own 2 feet when it comes to him having to go to court or filing a lawsuit. He can't even follow through on them. He's a coward.
She said, don't be paranoid that the FBI is watching you. She said, you can never keep yourself too clean. Because she said, even if they don't find
He's a
nothing on you,
punk.
they'll make it up. She told me that. She said, if we don't find it, we will make it up.
And
She said, people
That's a
go
damn lie.
crazy trying to stay clean of the FBI.
Yeah.
She said, you can't. Because if we can't find it, we will manufacture it.
Especially today.
Wouldn't they have already done that? Umar should already be in jail 5 years ago then, right? As a matter of fact, let's go back to when the cease and desist order was first ordered against him, because he's violated it several times. But wouldn't you be in jail after the first violation if they made something up? You would already be in jail, Umar. Make that make sense. You think that somehow the white man is trying to take you down, and the FBI fabricates things to have people indicted and thrown in jail. Wouldn't you already be in jail? The fact that you still have your liberty and freedom goes against what the hell you're saying. If they're so-called trying to come after you, he's an idiot.
AI.
I had an elder FBI agent. She came up to me after a
And Nick Cannon
graduation,
just sitting here
middle
letting him
school
say this
graduation
shit.
that I keynoted in Southwest Philadelphia. She came and sat next to me in the, what you want to call it, the post-graduation social.
Right.
She said, I'm an FBI agent. Sweet little grandmother. She said, Dr. Umar, you got to be careful. They will send the people you trust the most. And because you have such love for us elders, they'll surround you with a bunch of elders. They won't even send a woman because they know you're still going to look at the woman a little half crazy.
Yeah.
But if they send you a 75-year-old grandmother, you wouldn't think twice. And she was sitting right there. Wow. So I've had FBI agents warn me to what they about.
That's heavy.
But here's what I say to all
That's a damn lie. Because them agents would have concocted something up already and just came in and locked your ass up. Don't you think it would be easy for them to know where you're going and what you're doing and be able to? What if they would have just walked in this interview and just scooped them up? They could have done that if they wanted to. You underestimate the FBI, Umar. That's how dumb you are. You underestimate them. You have no idea how that works.
you cannot be worried about it. You have to do the work or give it up. Because
He
when I
thinks
look
it
at
like
El
a
Hajj, Malik El
bobblehead.
Shabazz, Malcolm X, when I look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I felt that they got so overcome with the threat of death that they secretly wished for it to happen so they could alleviate themselves from the pressure.
Just get it over with. Yeah.
I believe when their end came,
Yeah.
they were waiting on it.
Yeah.
Because
They
it's like, y'all
spoke
keep-
of it.
Y'all keep threatening me.
Yeah.
Y'all keep saying it. And I just think that they wish that this will happen and not affect my wife and children. I think Malcolm and Martin's greatest fear was not to die. They knew they were going to die.
Yeah.
I don't want my children and wife
Umar,
to die.
you're
But
not
remember, they
married.
bombed Malcolm's house.
Yeah.
They bombed King's house twice
Yeah.
with his wife and kids in it. And of course, Malcolm and his wife and kids was in it. So in their mind, it was like, please get me when they not around. Don't kill my family just to get me.
Is that why Dr. Umar stays single?
No, I stay single because I haven't found the queen.
Yeah, that would take care of his ass. Because he doesn't want to get a job at all, or he has no concept of the a actual family construct. He wants 2 wives. That ought to tell you everything you need to know. Because Nick Cannon is still an idiot, and he thinks that the institution of marriage did not exist before the 12th century in England. Nick Cannon, why you didn't tell him that? That's my thoughts on marriage and all. Because, hell, that's something that can just be researched, Nick Cannon. You're sitting here kissing his ass, and for what? You have more wealth than he does. So what are you sitting here doing this for him? Why give him this softball interview? What did you have to lose? Why are you walking around with 911 kids that you cannot possibly support and be there and take care of at the same time? Unless they all living in the house with you and their 900 mamas.
I'm not going to say haven't found, because there's a couple sisters who might be. I'm going to say it has not yet been proven to me
Thank you, Skid.
who the queens are. Once I find the right queen, I'm going to lock in. Of course, I'm going to have 2 queens.
Yeah.
So once I find the right queen, double up on that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Once I find the right queens, I'm going to lock in. But I need women to get beyond the celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. This is pure activism. I was born to serve the people. You got to deal with the activism and not get distracted by the celebrity. When I find them, we can move mountains. Because I totally believe, Brother Nick, that if I had a wife, even if not 2, if I had a wife, I would have been able to accomplish so much more than I have in my life. I see.
Yeah, because he would have gone to her and said, baby, can you please open up this business loan for me? I can't do it in my name, because I don't want people coming after me and all this other stuff. Why he can't prove that he has such a great danger and threat upon his life. No text message, emails, calls, none of that. Can't prove none of this stuff. Umar, if the FBI is watching, they're watching. And it would be because people filed complaints against you. So that's to be expected. I'm just curious to know. That's a good question here. What is an elder FBI agent? Shout out to you, GTO. What the hell is an elder FBI agent? You're either an agent or you're not. Do you think they walk around calling themselves, hey, what's going on, college FBI agent? What's going on, middle-aged FBI agent? How you doing, elder FBI agent? What's happening, senior citizen FBI agent? Do you think they walking around referring to each other as such in the FBI? Yeah, what's going on, 25-year-old FBI agent? What the hell is that? What's an elder FBI agent? Exactly. He just want to be a parasite. He wants to be a leech. Yeah, baby, I need you to go ahead and buy that car in your name. I can't put my name on it because people might locate where I am. And, you got to shut up. You can't say nothing about being my wife, even though that would be public information. And nowhere in hell he will be able to keep it a secret that he even got married to somebody, because it wouldn't be a secret. He's too much of a narcissist to not showboat a wedding, a fake wedding at that, on social media. You really think he would marry somebody and it would stay a secret? Hell no. And at some point, this so-called wife will come forward and tell everybody how you really act when the camera's not on you. What's going on with your mother, Umar? Why don't you show proof of life with your mother? Mother, you cannot sit here and say you're going to treat a queen, a black queen or a woman, the right way when you don't even treat your mother with dignity and respect. You've alienated her from her children and grandchildren. You won't even allow a wellness check to be conducted. When the hell any real woman in her right frame of mind would marry you? The only type of women you can get are the deadbeats and the chicken heads that walk around on YouTube trying to sit here and put you on a pedestal to get views. Get out of here.
Where a wife would have definitely benefited my mission.
Wow.
You
Really?
feel me? Yes.
That's
I see it.
It's a strong
I
statement.
see it.
So now,
and I know when I finally find her,
or them,
how much more I will be able to do.
So I got to ask you this: does the mission change once
you can't make
Dr. Umar has a family, specifically even children? Because, like you said, from
he's already got kids.
The Martin Luther Kings, there's now you are responsible for individuals and in households to where you may not be able to be. So
I follow you. Here's the question. When Frederick Douglass escaped from slavery in Maryland and Queen Mother Anna Murray Douglass reunited with her fiance Frederick Douglass and they got married, did he stop his work?
No.
What?
When Coretta Scott King married Dr. King and they asked Dr. King to become the president of the Montgomery bus boycott, the Montgomery Improvement Association, did he stop?
No.
Did Malcolm stop?
No.
What leader do you know? Look at Nat Turner. Nat Turner had to die for black people and didn't give it up for his wife and children who he loved. You know, they tortured his wife and killed him.
Yeah.
After Nat Turner was killed,
right?
They tortured and killed his wife.
Wow.
They killed a couple of his children. 1 or 2 got away.
Wow.
Right? So my point is, when I look at my ancestors, Medgar Evers, nobody gave up the mission for the family. And if the woman is expecting you to abandon your mission, she's not the woman. And I've had women say to me, this is too much. You got to choose me or the people. Well, that's
Yeah, who would say that when you don't have a job to offer? Umar has no substance. He has nothing to bring to the table. He doesn't have his own place. He doesn't have a vehicle. He doesn't have a job. He walks around sagging his pants. He hangs out in Hyde Park with transgender people. He walks around here talking about how a woman's jaw is not stronger than a man's. What kind of woman do you think you're going to get that actually would be someone forcing you to make a decision like that? You think these little chicken heads would care? They'll be trying to follow you everywhere you go. Just say you don't want to get married, Umar. Why didn't Nick Cannon ask him about being a deadbeat dad? You didn't even raise your own kids to take care of your own kids. And he's got at least 3 baby mamas. You know, like Nick Cannon's got 900 of them. Nick Cannon, you're not King Solomon. Okay? You're sitting here walking around with 911 kids by 911 women. And you're asking him about marriage and children? This is the stupidity between these two thunkheads. It's just entertaining. It's entertaining at this point. I can't take it.
You never win in that. The first wife is always the
I'm
people. You follow what I'm
laughing
saying?
at this shit now.
So, nothing changes. Nothing changes.
So then, I mean, you use the term activist
He ain't trying
to
to get
describe
married,
yourself in a like that. That's what you are. So we all have different definitions for activists. We talked about the LeBron James. Where I believe
LeBron James ain't no activist.
He got the amount of money to be. I believe Jay-Z is an activist. These brothers have.
If you're going to give them that,
yes,
we're going to have to qualify it as soft activism. Let me tell you what soft activism
like
is.
Soft porn.
Soft activism is they about to march against the police downtown.
Okay, because Nick Cannon is still stupid. The definition of activist is a person who campaigns to bring about political or social change. Why do you need to create your own definition of a word that's already been predefined for you, Nick Cannon? So you mean to tell me you couldn't just do a quick Google search on the definition of the word activist? What do you mean? They bring about political or social change. So you can have a social activist also be an NBA player. Umar doesn't see anybody as an activist. He just sees donors. That's all he sees. That questions even more why the hell he's on Nick Cannon's show. Because Nick Cannon, you got all the money in the world. Why he's not questioning Nick Cannon about giving him a donation? He does with anyone else that may not even have the money. You're sitting in front of somebody that's got millions of dollars, and you didn't ask Nick Cannon to donate to FDMG, Umar. Both of you are clowns. Y'all just sitting here kissing each other's ass.
LA.
Okay.
I'm not going because I'm scared as shit. I'm not walking against no cops.
Right.
You
But
can't
I'm gonna
make
give y'all
this
some
up.
money to pay for the lawyers if y'all got locked up.
Okay.
I'm gonna give y'all some money to get some peace and some soda for you. Follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Soft activism, you don't put yourself in harm's way.
Okay.
You stay all the way back and you just fund from a distance. That's soft activism, as opposed to a Dick Gregory who funded King
my OG.
and marched with King. You see what I'm saying?
Now, and I had this conversation
Who
with.
LeBron James march with?
Well, this
Who
because
Jay-Z march with?
I'm
Y'all
gonna
know
bring it home
You don't
though.
have to
Carmelo
march.
marched, though.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why they kind of sabotaged Carmelo's career, because when Freddie Gray got his spine dislocated from his skull, Carmelo, who lived in Baltimore, he showed up on foot and marched for Freddie Gray. And when the NBA saw Carmelo show that he was an alpha male, that's when they said, we can't use him.
Well, so
We still care about black folks. Let's go get LeBron James.
So, not to toot my own horn or even justify what I'm doing, but
yet LeBron James have an entire conglomerate of schools, operational and functioning. That's serving majority black kids, where he's offering free desk, free school supplies, free uniforms, free biking helmet, free lunch and breakfast. I mean, even a free ride to the University of Akron if you qualify. He's offering way more than Umar could ever imagine offering. Umar can't name one accomplishment that he has given to the black community or black people other than him running his damn mouth and lying about him not liking snow bunnies. And of course, all the hits that he's given against the LGBTQ community. And then he turns around and sits and makes comments about somebody's jaw not being stronger than a man's. You can't make this up. Oh, and hanging out in Hyde Park. What a clown.
I have been on the front lines. I've been out there. I do the marching. I've sacrificed a great deal in my career for standing firm on things that I believe. But ultimately, to bring everyone closer together, because I believe that is the purpose of an artivist. Now, an activist is ones like that you named, everyone from Nat Turner to the great Marcus Garvey and the Stokeleys and obviously the Malcolm X's and people like yourself are a little bit more overt. With their message.
You don't put somebody who's not willing to die in the front line. He's going to betray you. You see what I'm saying? And you don't put somebody who's willing to die way in the back, because you can use them in a much more better way. So for me, I don't believe, and I think this is one of the faulty thoughts of black activism from the 60s. We thought everybody had to be willing to die in order to organize. No.
Right.
Just find out what they're willing to sacrifice and assign them to the right place. You follow what I'm saying, Nick?
Understood.
If I know Nick Cannon ain't trying to die or lose his fortune, that's cool. Let me and Nick talk about the role he can play. Let me and LeBron talk about the role he can play. Let me and Jay-Z talk about the role he can play. You follow me? You can still.
This is coming from the man that only cares about donors. Okay, while he in his preachy voice, let's fast forward a little bit. Because, he doesn't barely talk about how the school is going to be opened. And only Nick Cannon said something about it opening soon, to which he doesn't know shit. He hadn't even researched any information about it. He didn't even inquire about the school website. He didn't even ask Umar, what's the school website? I was trying to look up some information about the school and I can't even find the website. Why didn't he ask him that? This was just 9 months ago.
Voter suppression, that ain't a big problem in black America. We don't give a damn about that. We talking about jobs. What are you doing, bro?
So we
need institutions. Billionaires should be building institutions.
So billionaires
should hear nothing short of institutions, independent institutions.
Let's break that down though. So because we got
But he doesn't care about voter suppression, where black people had to fight for the right to vote. F out of here.
Everybody
Schools, from banks, hospitals, supermarkets.
So from the Dr. Dre's
all the way down.
The Yays, who he's actually tried to build a school.
He built a school. But that was for bougie white and bougie black. That wasn't no grassroots community institution.
So all
stop bunny hopping, Kanye. Damn.
We're going to get into that on council culture. But we definitely going to talk about that. But I'm just saying, if we were to implement, because we know we have a very strong community, a very powerful, very, at this point, wealthy black community. We have some of the richest people in the world.
And they're doing what with their wealth?
Okay, so Nick Cannon, how much have you given to FDMG again? You and Mark Lamont and Charlemagne? Because I'm assuming you guys still sitting here and defending him. How much money you all going to continue to donate to him, knowing that he's not opening a school? Why aren't you asking about a school website? Or, we heard some black mold on the building. Now you're going to treat that. Looks like it will cost millions of dollars.
What should they be doing, Dr. Umar?
Build institutions.
When you say institutions,
and nothing
independent
else.
schools.
Yes.
What else?
Every community, a Black Wall Street on the basic level is a school to teach, a hospital to treat, a supermarket to feed, and a bank to invest.
Do we know how much that would actually cost?
It all depends on the size and what they're actually going to be doing with it.
Let's put the plan together.
If they're working together, you can build a school for $3 million.
$3 million.
Say $5.
$5 million.
$5 million for the school.
Banks. How much we need to put
up?
A
bank for about $5 million. It takes less to start a bank, but $5 for the structure and all.
Hospital.
I'm gonna go $5. Hospital, you might got to do about 15 million.
So
okay, so why he's sitting here guessing how much it costs to open up a hospital, which is not even enough money to do that for 15 million because he's an idiot. Umar, you have raised over 2 million in 11 years towards FDMG. K-12 management purchased the 2 bandos for 1.249 million. So far, at least 3 million has been put towards the opening of FDMG schools. Why aren't they open? Since you're saying it costs between $3 to $5 million, then why aren't they open? And how much money did you ask Nick Cannon to give you again? Because he's super rich. He's filthy rich. Why aren't you asking these big donors like this, like Nick Cannon, to give you money? Mark Lamont, Charlemagne, the entire Breakfast Club, pick it. Why aren't you asking them to give you money? Why are you sitting here trying to nickel and dime people who are living check to check? People who probably are struggling now to get groceries. You expecting those people to give you money and to actually give it to you every month with your pyramid scheme packages on your website. But you can't ask Nick Cannon, who's a multimillionaire, to give you the 5 million. Why didn't you just ask him right then and there? But he don't want to take money from wealthy people though, but he wants to keep forcing people who are check to check to keep struggling to give him money every month. Make that make sense?
Oh, you just said pretty much for $25 million, all of these billionaires, if they all they got to do is put $25 million into their community to get it going.
Now you got to sustain, which is going to be less than the opening.
Right.
But the problem with us,
He's talking like a
we
social.
don't like to
he
invest
don't
or
care.
commit ourselves to anything
He don't
for
care
our own
about
people
voting rights.
that we're going to have to contribute over a long period of time.
So I'm gonna
See,
put.
we like charity because charity, Nick, is what? One and done.
Yeah.
Charity is one and done.
So I got
no institutions, sustained investment over time.
Dr. Umar is giving me a mission. All I got to do is invest $25 million. I'm a personally vow this.
That's a bank.
In my lifetime.
That's a supermarket.
$5 million to a bank. You gonna help me do this?
Sure.
$5 million to a bank. $5 million to a school.
For sure.
And $20 million. That's what we say, $15 million for a hospital.
Make it 20.
So 30 all together.
Yeah.
So is Nick Cannon gonna give him the money? How's this gonna go? Somebody, you gonna help me do this?
But you got Florida.
We could buy cities.
Massachusetts got a city for sale. The whole city. The buildings are there.
So
they shut down. You
yeah,
gotta
but we can get the school.
Umar has no job. He can't contribute to anything, let alone him opening a school that he has been sitting on 2 bandos for 6.5 years. Nick Cannon, you're still stupid. But yet you're asking him, is he going to help you? No. You know what he's going to do? Ask for donations from the public to do all this nonsense that now you want to do with him, which 9 months later, what the hell have they done together? What has Nick Cannon and Umar Johnson achieved in the past 9 months? Because last time I checked, it's nothing. You would think Nick Cannon would just say, I'll give you the 3 million, open up the school, but you got to show proof that it's opening up. I need to see a curriculum. You would think he would just say that right then and there. Even Nick Cannon knows that this man is not trying to open up a school, but yet he wants to sit here and mislead the public to have millions of people think that that's what he's trying to do. They're clowns.
The hospital and the bank all in one
all
swoop.
right there. That's why when you keep hearing black people say we need to separate to do our own thing. Ninja, you got 12 cities for sale. Go get one and let's revitalize the thing.
You heard it. So I need this because we're gonna wrap it up because you've been dropping so much wisdom and information.
Yes, sir. 50 million.
Hey, that's happening.
That's a Black Wall Street.
There it is. What is the definition of an activist? We said all
activist for me is an
no. An activist is a person who campaigns to bring about political or social change. Why are they struggling with this? Why didn't he just Google it? Are you serious? You're advocating or opposing a cause or issue vigorously. I mean, definitions are already listed here. What are they confused about? Why are you confused on that?
an unapologetically African anti-snow bunny alpha male who is an agent of change.
Can we just say agent?
You must be a weapon of mass construction.
Okay.
An agent of change, weapon of mass construction, who is independently funding the solutions for the community. And I want you to underline independent, Brother Nick, because we got a whole bunch of people doing a lot of good things for the community. But you know what the problem is?
What's that?
They're funded by enemies of the community. So whenever those enemies decide that we're going to cut off your blood chain, your supply, your money line, you're done.
So we got to play the game.
But he doesn't,
because if I can't give you the 50 million if I'm not.
That's different because that's you, celebrity. But for the brothers and sisters in the streets, they need to understand that once you compromise your voice, when you don't have a free tongue, you almost don't have a free hand either. For the ones on the grassroots. For the celebrities, we know y'all got to operate a certain way. That's different. But for the brothers and sisters on the street.
Yeah, it's called accountability. See, he wouldn't want to show them exactly how he's spending the money. That's why Umar continues to rake the coals of people who are living check to check in low income communities. You know, just asking regular blue collar workers and regular Joe Schmoes because they don't demand evidence, documentation, accountability, transparency. See, if Nick Cannon gave him $5 million, he would certainly want to know how he spent that $5 million. But that's the hypocrisy of this. You could easily open the school if you wanted to by simply doing the right thing, Umar, you clown. You dumb Oompa Loompa. And you have black celebrities with millions of dollars that you could have easily asked for the money from. But because you don't want to show them how it's being spent, you don't ask them. You keep asking people who are living check to check, working regular 9-to-5 jobs. And then you want them to commit to doing it every month. Because you know those brainless Umar Tardians are not going to question you. Because at this point, it's been 11 years. So the people still giving him money are just the cult followers that's just leading, the following blindly. And they feel like, you know, if we stop doing it, you know, then it's going to be like, we told you so. All because they don't want to be embarrassed, I guess. I don't know what the hell the problem is. I fail to believe at this juncture, 11 years later, you have people donating to him and they don't know that he's a con artist and a scammer. He has not produced a product or service. And they're still willing to give him money every month. People who are still defending him, they're the Umar Tardian cult followers. They sacrificed their brain and their soul to Lucifer for a $4.99 chicken special with a biscuit. Like they don't care to think or read or research. They don't care. And it's diminishing. He's not getting the money like he used to. But yet, when you are faced with a wealthy black man, you don't even ask him for the money. He doesn't want to have to prove how he's spending it. That is a scammer.
They got to stop selling out for the money because it's forcing them to compromise their voice.
So we also got to understand each and
like,
every one of us have to play our position.
We got to play our position. One of the reasons why you're not getting honest conversation about Kamala Harris or Donald Trump is because the Democratic Party is using all that fundraising money to pay off black media, black journalists. So nobody's telling the truth because everybody's getting paid to push a certain narrative. That's Republican and Democrat. So black people are looking for the truth and they can't get it because everybody they listen to is being paid to push Trump's narrative or Kamala's narrative. Who's the truth?
Wow. All right. So we're going to, I got to ask you this because, man, you've lived such a life and you're continuing your journey in such a powerful way that you're only elevating. What's Dr. Umar's greatest life lesson?
Wow, my greatest life lesson
Snow bunnies never. Black queens forever. All I care about is the donors. It's all about the Benjamins. I mean, I can throw out a few he's actually said.
Has been learning that
he needs to get a job.
The people around you don't necessarily believe in you or support you.
When you can't prove
they're there
anything?
because they need you. It's been a tough lesson. It's been a necessary lesson, but it was a good lesson.
Wow.
In other words, I've been invited to places to speak and found out later that the person who brought me in didn't even like me.
Wow.
So why did you bring me in? Because he knew I would sell out the venue. You feel me?
Really?
And so I had to learn because originally in the beginning, I thought if they invite me to speak, it's because they're Umar supporter. Oh, I was wrong. Nah, they respect my.
Hold on. Did we just watch 2 videos of him being in a barn for the reveal of demonic dolls that look like Nick babies from Tales from the Hood? Did that look like it was sold out to you? Did that look like it was packed out? He doesn't even want people to know where he's going at this point. So how is he selling out anything when he doesn't even reveal where he's going, because he doesn't want people to get a hold to these venues and tell them that he's a scammer and a con artist, and you should, watch out for any teenage girls between the ages of 16 and 25. Let's not forget, he doesn't even take care of his own kids. Nick Cannon didn't even press him on that, because he's a polygamist as well, and he's not there for his own children either. Nick Cannon, just because you see them as objects of exchange and you give money to care for them financially, does not make you a good parent. It just means that you understand the art of financial responsibility and nothing more. Never mind how this affects these kids growing up, knowing that they have a famous father who they barely saw. These kids are going to resent the hell out of Nick Cannon. Just like Umar's kids is going to resent him for not being a part of their lives. He's already got one daughter that does.
Drawing power, but not necessarily my message.
Greatest life lesson.
That was a hard, and there's been other lessons, but that has been a big one.
Wow.
That has been a big one.
All right, now I always
Drawing
ask,
power.
people that I look up to and that I admire, that I'm inspired by, their steps to success. Now you said success. You wouldn't say you're necessarily a success, but more effective is the better word.
Yes.
So what's Dr. Umar's 5 steps to being successfully effective?
I'm gonna say study,
Study,
preparation,
He didn't do that either.
spirituality.
He doesn't care about that.
I'm gonna also say that you have to be self-motivated.
He's not self-motivated. He won't even
In
do
humility.
documents.
Humility. Wow.
And he's
Number
a
5?
narcissist.
Really? I don't take Dr. Umar as humble.
No, I'm humble.
he's
and people
not.
say it all the time. Like they'll come up in the airport and sit down and talk.
That's a damn lie from the pit of hell, and you need to return that lie to sender. Return that lie to sender, Umar. Straight to Lucifer where you got it from. Return that lie to sender. You are an absolute narcissist. That's not humble. That's the opposite of that. You have this grandiose mentality and grandeur, persona about yourself. You think you're larger than life. You think people owe you things. You think that you shouldn't have to get a job and everything should come to you on a silver platter. People should just keep donating to you so you can keep eating Cinnabons. That's the last thing he will ever be associated with. It ain't even a slip of the tongue for him to say that. He's talking, you humble? Wow. Is that the one thing Nick Cannon got right? Laughing at the idea of Umar being humble.
Like, I never thought you would sit here and talk to me for a whole hour. You know what I mean? They'll come up and want a picture somewhere. I never thought you would take the picture, because a lot of celebrities, and I hate the word, but a lot of celebrities, they won't give you no picture, and just a lot of little things I do that to me are nothing.
This is his
All right.
thing.
But to them, it's like, we didn't expect you to do that.
But the idea of, and even the definition of humble, is to make oneself small. I don't think that anything small about Dr. Umar.
Right. But I think
Yeah, because he's a
people
narcissist.
are somewhat shocked when they see how down to earth.
Grounded. That's what I was saying.
Not
Instead of
grounded
humble,
either.
grounded.
Yeah,
You got
very
to
grounded.
you got to be
Very
grounded.
grounded.
So number 1, study.
Yes.
Number 2,
Okay, he's just gonna recap what the hell he just said. So, at this point, it's safe to say that Nick Cannon is still stupid, and Umar is still a scammer and a con artist who lies like hell for fun. Umar, the last thing anyone in their right frame of mind should ever see you as is humble, because you do not give off any level of humility. You don't even want to present documentation on how donor money is being spent, because, as you said, my donors aren't asking me for that. So the people that are asking me for the information, they're the haters. They're the struggle streamers. No, it's accountability, you idiot. And yes, it takes a level of humility to hold yourself accountable and to be transparent when it comes to presenting documentation and evidence. You don't think you owe anyone that. That's not humility at all. Oh my God. Let's get some comments in, you all. I want to thank you all for tuning in. This was pretty much the full interview. I just, I hadn't seen this. And I just thought it would be interesting to cover, considering the fact that, Nick Cannon is an absolute walking hypocrisy himself. So this is what happens when you get two fools in the same room that can't define the word activism. This is what happens. Two idiots in the room walked into a bar. This is what you get. These two clowns that are still struggling to define the word activism. Like, they couldn't just Google it. Neither one of them are activists. I've never seen Nick Cannon in a protest or a march for any black person. So if I'm missing the mark on that, please tell me. Somebody send me a video link of Nick Cannon marching and protesting for any level of social change, because he's not a political individual. He doesn't even have the wherewithal to research the institution of marriage. He actually believes that it was not established until the 12th century in England, of all places on earth. Nope, straight out of England, a European country. Nowhere else on earth. No one else got married before the 12th century except those who lived in England. This is who we're talking about here, doing an interview with Umar. You can't make this up. What's going on, S5? How you doing? Good to see you. Got to see you. Nick Cannon is sick and he knows he doesn't have a long time to live. What's wrong with him? Umar is the first official homeless celebrity. How old is his interview? It's only 9 months old. His interview is 9 months old. It got 135,000 views 9 months ago. It's not even, they didn't even get 200,000 views on this. So let me correct myself. I said earlier millions of people watching. No, only 135,000 watched. And what's so crazy is this channel only has 14.5 thousand subs. You would think Nick Cannon would be able to get, at least 1 million followers on YouTube. No, too much like right. And then you got all these suckers in the comment section sitting here talking, oh yeah, this is good. This is actually a good thing. No, this is a clown show. Two thunkheads that want to be polygamous, one of which doesn't work at all. The other one, he has 911 kids that he knows he can't support physically in person. These kids are going to be so scarred. And y'all, kids can't help who their parents are. They really can't. But it's absolutely asinine for him to keep making all these babies and talking about he can't control it. So if you just came in, please make sure you replay, because we go over an article of what Nick Cannon stated on The Breakfast Club back in 2021 when he was asked about why in the hell he's procreating with all these different women. He literally said he's not in control of it. As if it's the woman's fault. Because how dare he not wear a condom? This is the worst level of gaslighting and straight bullshit buffoonery I've ever witnessed. Is this interview worse than the one he did on the Manza, the Manza Project? The Danza Project. Who thinks that this interview was worse than the Danza Project? Put a 1 in the chat. If you think this one was better than the Danza Project, put a 2. If you find both of them repulsive, put a 3. Because I don't know what was worse. This one or the Danza Project? These softball interviews. Ace Nation, what's going on? Ace said 3. And it's about the same. Nick should have stayed away from Umar. You would think, right? Tavares said a 3. Sean said a 3. They about the same. Now, Stevie said Nick Cannon is heavily connected with Will Smith. Oh, yeah. These celebrities all end up connected at some point. And many of them originated from the P. Diddy white parties. You can't make this up. S-File said 3. Larry said 3. Dr. Stevie said Nick Cannon. So he thinks Nick Cannon's interview was worse than the Danza Project. This is crazy. Like, sir, fathers, be good to your daughters, because daughters grow up to be mothers. Exactly. And he's not even, neither one of them are present in their kids' lives like that. Nick Cannon has too many all over the world to be present in person, because he's got to keep working to take care of these kids. And Umar doesn't care about his kids at all. One of them has been, he only has supervised visitation. So when you have to be chased down to go to court for child support, and then you go in there and bitch, whine, and complain about it, Umar, no one takes you seriously because no one should have to take you to court. I don't think Nick Cannon is under any court order to pay child support, but if he's doing it on his own, that's the only leverage that he has over Umar, is that he's paying child support on his own without a court telling him to do it. So if it be the case that Nick Cannon actually does what he needs to do financially for the kids, the only difference they have between them is that one is court ordered and the other one isn't. But they're both leaving kids behind that are being scarred emotionally and psychologically, mentally, having voids in their lives because their own fathers can't be there consistently, to which these kids deserve. They deserve to have both parents present in their life. There's no reason for it to be imbalanced. It's so crazy. When they said Nick has a setup with these women, I don't think it's just he's making broken homes. I think these women don't want a partner full time. And that could, it might be the case. Because I said flat out, they're part of the problem. They allowed him to go raw dogging in them and get them pregnant, knowing that he was doing this with other women. And at the end of the day, they're using these kids as a meal ticket. But he's stupid enough to allow that to happen. What is he getting in exchange for knocking these women up and then having to take care of the kids financially, plus the mothers? Because they're going to be competing amongst each other. Yeah, well, you got them twins from Mariah Carey. They go to private school. Why our son can't go to private school? Why our son can't have no nanny? Why we can't live in a mansion? You imagine like the demands that's coming with this? If he's not smart enough to know that you got women out there that are willing to just get knocked up by somebody because they got money, then he deserves to sit here and have to take care of kids for the rest of his life like this financially. That's what you get, Nick Cannon, because you're stupid. Because he doesn't want to get remarried again. You would think they would be bold enough to say that. You would think Umar would just put it out there, I never want to get married. No. He's got to put up this fake persona because he's a bad representation of the conscious community. And he's actually trying to be polygamous. He wants 2 wives. How does that foster a balanced family unit? A balanced home environment where you have both parents present in the home, taking care of the kids, working hard, showing the kids, that if you stay dedicated, if you get educated, you put God first, you'll be blessed. You'll be able to achieve some of the goals that you have, that God has in line for you and that you want to achieve. No, he's not even trying to do that. He wants to be able to hide out in a woman's house, because he thinks that people are after him when no one is stunning him. Umar, you broke as hell. You living in a gym or your car, wherever you living, and you still won't show proof of life of your mother and let your siblings see their own mother. That's how evil and soulless you are. So this is what we are. This is they're the epitome of disgusting, both of them, and I have no respect for either one of them. So, but this is the stuff that people are watching, and they're sitting here rooting this on, and for what? Where people are still too scared to ask him, what is the school website? Can you show vendor invoices? Can you show any proof that the money is being spent towards the schools? It's crazy. So, oh yeah, Dr. CB, you got to watch it from the beginning. So I pulled up that article. It was the interview Nick Cannon did on the Breakfast Club, trying to justify him just walking around, procreating like he's stupid. It's not necessarily about whether you can afford to have these kids, because he can financially. But you got to think about the full aspect of being a parent. It's more than just the money. You got to show love and support. You got to be there for your kids. And even if there is a barrier or some sort of hindrance, these kids don't understand that. They don't understand my daddy's Nick Cannon, and he's got 12 more of us, and he can't come to my baseball game today. They just know that their dad can't be there for them. That's what he's fostering. And then they got to grow up and watch these stupid videos and interviews and read these articles of Nick Cannon, their father, talking about having kids as an exchange. So in exchange for you getting a baby out of these women, you're having to pay the money for them to grow up. What else are you getting out of it? Other than, I guess, the idea that these women are supposed to just stay loyal to you sexually and not be with anyone else. So, it's expected that when you out there, wherever you are, Guam or wherever other states these kids are, that when you're out there, you are expected to get some booty. That's what that sounds like to me. It sounds like a over glamorized, friends with benefits type situation, except kids are involved. And what happens if Nick Cannon is no longer able to pay for these kids? What happens if that happens? It comes down to where he ends up broke as hell. Then what? This is so crazy, man. So you have to be rich with time and presence, not just finances. Exactly, Saint. I told you he's sick and you don't think he can live long. He has lupus. That's why he studied doctors. Nick Cannon has lupus. Why would you make all these kids then? And then, like, what did it? Okay, so let's just say he has lupus. Even more of a reason why he should be walking around here doing this. Because now these kids got to grow up without the dad. And if he doesn't have long to live, I mean, he will have to have a hell of a will written out. Because now you got to leave an inheritance for all these kids. It's so crazy. Why pull kids into this? Why pull all these children? It's like 9 or 10 of them. Like Eddie Murphy. Yeah, Eddie Murphy got what, 12, 13 kids? P. Diddy got 12, 13 kids. And he's in jail. It's so crazy. I met Nick Cannon multiple times. We haven't had a business meeting yet, though. Yeah, I ask her, why are you pulling kids into this if you think you're sick and your time is limited? How do you know that money is going to run out? God forbid he passes away. Even if he has a living will where he sets up accounts and puts money up for all the kids, that money is only going to go so far if the mothers are having to financially still take care of them and raise them. And then they still got to grow up without their father around. Why put the kids through that? Why do that? Maybe you're seeking a kid to cure him. You would think he having all these children. He's afraid of passing away. That's why, man, listen. I don't think it's fair to the kids. I understand what you're saying, Dr. Seaby. I don't, as a mother, it is not fair to all of these kids. He's got all over the place. These kids are in different states, in different countries. One of them is in Guam. It's not fair to them for them to have their mothers explain why their fathers are never going to come back and visit them again or be in their lives because he passed away from lupus and he was out here making kids to avoid death. That's not something you bring kids into that situation. And for what? You're leaving them behind and then what? Because kids don't understand, oh, well, at least I have a bunch of money in an account. The only thing they understand is, where's my daddy? I mean, that's all I'm saying. They're not going to understand, oh, he has a lot of money. These small kids, they just, where's my dad at? I have a piano recital. I have a basketball game. Why isn't my dad here? Those father-daughter dances and stuff. You think his daughters are going to be thinking about whether or not they are loaded? They got an account with $5 million sitting in it? No, they're going to be like, where's my dad at? Why can't I go to the dad? Why can't my dad come with me to the father-daughter dance? Why can't my dad come see me play basketball or football? That's all these kids are going to understand. They're not going to understand the financial aspect of any of that. Some of them are still young. He literally has had more kids between 2021 and now. So he's got toddlers and infants still. They don't comprehend and understand, he's wealthy and he's giving my mom money to take care of me. They just want to know where's my dad at? Why can't my dad come out? My birthday party is tomorrow. Is my dad going to be here? That's all. That's what they understand. It's so that's not a good situation to pull them in, because you're fearing something that is inevitable. I hate to hear that he's sick. I really do. I'm not trying to be, just not having empathy for that. But that's more of a reason why you shouldn't be having all these kids, because these kids don't understand that. They wouldn't understand if he would pass away, God forbid. They would not understand what's going on. Some of them are too young to understand that. That's why I keep saying it's not fair to them. It's just not fair to them. I don't know if you're a parent, Dr. C, but that's just speaking from a mother's stance. That's all I'm saying. It's not fair to the kids. And these women are just equally to blame as he is, because and you're talking about something genetically prone. What if that's passed down in the bloodline? It's not fair to them. It's reckless and careless to me. And thank you, GT. I think it's very careless. I think it's very reckless and careless. But he could be passing down lupus too. Yeah, that's a genetically born, disease that could be carried down and inherited. But I get what you're saying. I just don't think that that's the way to go. He could have given that money to the kids that he already had. He already had 2 or 3. He didn't have to keep making more. The rest could have went to a charity organization or something. It's just, he needs to wrap it up. He needs to put on a condom. This is out of control, man, because there's too many kids and they don't deserve that. They deserve better than that. They deserve better than that. So, either way, I just want to thank you all, and I appreciate the dialogue. I really do. This is what, we can all have, good discussion. And we might not agree on everything, because I don't agree he should be out here just procreating like this. It's very reckless of him. And it's putting the kids through potential mental and emotional and psychological, hardship at some point. And they won't even know who their father is, or be too young to understand if something happens. And these kids don't care about money. They just want their parents. So, that's kind of, like I said, we won't always agree, but that's how I feel about it. I forgot about Tommy. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, technically, none of us know when we are going to pass. I mean, yeah, exactly. But the only thing I can hope for as a mom, that I leave a living will, a medical a directive, and have things outlined to where, my 2 boys can have what they need, growing up and thereafter. God forbid. But I'm not going to go out here and make more kids to avoid I'm not going to do that. I just can't imagine how these kids are going to have to process that type of information. Yeah, it's from the kids' point of view. You got to think about how the children feel about this, and think about what's best for them. I watch all interviews, all these things. It's my business. So yeah, he has adjusted and talked about that. I'm not making things up. I don't gossip. I get you. I understand. I just think he needs to stop making kids. That's just my opinion on it. It's not helping. These kids deserve better. They deserve to have someone that's going to be more present while he's alive. He's not able to be with all of them at the same time while he's alive, unless they all living in the same state, unless they've all moved to one area where he could have easy access to all of them at once. Maybe they all live on the same street or something. Unless that's happened, if they're in different states and even in different countries, there is no physical way that he's able to see them in person, to hug on them, to love on them, to be there to help with homework, to change diapers, to go to doctor's appointments, to do all these activities with them. He can't physically do all of that in person. He's only one human. And that's what is being missed here. That's what he's not understanding. Nick Cannon is not understanding that. He's not thinking about the kids. He sees them as an exchange. I just, he needs to stop. Do what's best for these kids. Don't put them through that. So, yeah, and the polygamy is just out of control. How many more different moms that he's got? All these different women you got all these kids with? Come on. I'm sure most of them wouldn't know how to act if they all had to be together in under the same roof. You can imagine what that's going to be like. Oh my God. Drama on steroids. I foresee that. It's a different setup, and tests show that kids in these settings don't do well when it's against society norms. And even such, he literally thinks that marriage was not instituted before the 12th century in England. Why did he say that? That's very ignorant of him. Umar damn sure shouldn't procreate. Of course not. He don't even take care of the kids he got. Not even financially. They gotta track him down, take him to court. So, all right, y'all. That's all I got. We hit 3 hours. I appreciate all of you all. I still have to work in the morning, so we're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna do some Candace tomorrow. But I appreciate you all tuning in, and I appreciate the conversation no less. And I appreciate all of you all. Just hit the like button and share the content. Subscribe if you haven't. We're almost there at 30,000. We're on the road there to getting there, and I would love to hit 30,000 by next week. That would be an absolute blessing. So, you guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Candace, and if I can get a quick Umar video in, because it's Friday, I will. But you guys know how I do it on the weekends, because I work during the week. So, you guys have a good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.